what we have here is the final table of event number 1 in our WPT Fall Series. Event number 1, 360 buy-in, 100K guarantee. Here we have the final 9 fighting over 160K. Starting off in seat number 1 from Jacksonville, Florida, with a stack of 1.5 million, Nabil Hirazai. In seat number 2 from Fayetteville, North Carolina, with a stack of 1.1 million, James Holland. In seat number 3 from Pinetta, Florida, with a stack of 1.615 million, Glenn Waller. In seat number 4 from Cairo, Georgia, with a stack of 850,000, Will Willoughby. In seat number 5 from Yukon, Oklahoma, with a stack of 1.92 million, Eldon Penn. In seat number 6 from Jacksonville, Florida, with a stack of 1.295 million, Mac Johnson.
Hold on, Mac. Go, Mac.
In seat number 7 from St. Augustine, Florida, with a stack of 960,000, James Call. In seat number 8 from Chapin, South Carolina, with a stack of 720,000, Gregory Goder.
Go, Greg.
And rounding it out, in seat number 9 from Macon, Georgia, with a stack of 1.305 million, Brian Dumoplin. All right, guys, we have about 36 minutes left on the 15,000, 3,000, 30,000, and a 30,000 any round. I'm going to start the clock. Good luck, guys. Shuffle up and deal.
All right, you heard it right there. Welcome to Best Bet Jack's live stream. This is a 100K guarantee, $360 buy-in, 9 players left. I am Eddie Marskowski, and next to me is Kelly Slay, here to give you all the action tonight.
It's going to be a good one, Eddie.
Yep. As always, we got some locals, we got some out-of-towners. A couple little Best Bet legend Doc Nabil Hirazai in our 1 seat. He is a former WPT main event champion here in Jacks.
Yeah, he won the $3,500 buy-in main event back in 2014. Has his picture hanging on the wall.
That's right.
Living legend. And plays a wide open game, so we should be in for some entertaining poker tonight for sure.
Got him a nice stack, 1.5 million, about 50 bigs. First hand, Mac, ace king on the button here. Looks like Doc limps. James opens ace jack off, and then it gets to Mac on the button, who's going to flat call.
Interesting play already.
We're at blinds are 15,000, 30,000. So you see Doc just limp the ace 3.
That's Doc's game. He likes to see flops.
James
in position, out of position, he doesn't care. He just likes to see the flops.
King 5-5, great flop for Mac here on the button.
Let's see if James continuation bets as forward and represents the king. Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, ace jack, king 5-5, not the worst flop for you. Ace jack high can be the best hand a lot of times, although with Mac calling behind, you know he's going to have some kind of decent hand, especially on the first hand dealt.
Yep, and you notice he only bets about a third of the pot. That's the trend now in a lot of pokers you see. See if Mac raises. He does.
Yep, small C bet, 110K.
I think that's going to be the end of it.
Yep, Mac pops it up. Rather a small raise, up to 295. Don't know how James can continue, and Mac's going to take down the first hand.
All right, guys, I want to welcome tonight's live stream. Our commentators are going to be Eddie Marskoski and Kelly Slade. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
All right, we had a total of 562 players in event number 1 of our World Poker Tour, bringing us a total prize pool of $168,600. We paid out 60 spots tonight. We had about 85 players come back to day 2. Tonight's min cash for 9th place will receive $3,372.
All right, everyone guaranteed a little over $3,000 profit, depending on how many times they bought in.
You know, that last hand, I'm a little surprised Mac didn't just play it a little slowly since he had disguised his hand pre-flop.
Yeah, especially on such a safe board. There's really no bad turn cards. I would have liked to see him peel. But, you know, maybe early going, a little cautious, looking to
As it played
stay out of
out,
harm's way maybe a bit.
as it played out, nobody's putting any more money in that pot, unless maybe the ace came.
Yeah,
The case ace.
and there was only one left. so.
Right.
Yeah, one of the most common things that I've seen these players play on, like, especially in the final table, they don't bet for value. They're just missing so much value on these huge hands, and they're not recognizing these spots.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you know, it's a little more pressurized than when no one's watching. You know, so I think they're a little hesitant to make a mistake, and when you're a little hesitant, you can make a mistake here and there.
Yeah. You can be careful. Make sure nobody draws out on you. Like
Georgia
you
Tech
said.
Jack in the Twitch chat says hello. Welcome, Jack. I think Jack was another one that made day 2 with us and failed to make the final table, same as we did.
Well, I failed to cash.
That's right.
Again. I was an early casualty, came back short and ran a pair right into another pair. It was a quick day for me, but I saw you made a nice run, Eddie. Got down into the final 3 or 4 tables.
Yep, I got
Got your aces cracked.
31st, got my aces cracked. Take home a little payday.
You're getting deep over and over again. I expect to see you here on the final table soon. I'll be calling your action.
Me and you both. I didn't want to be here today, Kelly.
Me
I was
either.
hoping you were doing it solo. Jack says he got 11th, ace king, loses to queens.
Oh, boy.
We just missed seeing him on the final table here.
Yeah, we did. That'd been fun. Always like to see GT Jack play.
So Jack got 11th for 21.92. Nice run nonetheless, Jack.
Also, I saw that Julian, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Kassab maybe, K-A-S-S-A-B, finished 10th for 2,500. He played very well. He was at my final end of the night, day 1. I was impressed with his play.
Yeah. Unofficial final tablist. That always hurts right before the live stream.
Hurts a little worse, doesn't it?
Looks like James, he's going to take this one with the queen 10. Raise and take.
You know, the other interesting thing about this final table, the structure is really good in this event, and we're getting here to this final table. Everybody's got at least 24 big blinds. Chip leader has 63. So a lot of them in the 40s and 50s in big blinds. We've got plenty of, and 40-minute levels. So we've got a lot of action here tonight, a lot of room to play some poker.
Yeah, agreed, which is maybe a little rare. Usually, you know, you got somebody that's squeaked in with 8 bigs and somebody that's got 15, and they're trying to outlast each other. Here, there's no one to really wait out as 40-minute levels and everyone with over 20-plus bigs. No reason to sit back, so I'd like to see who's going to step up and go for it.
Yeah, Greg in the 8th seat has 24 big blinds, or did when they started, and that's the shortest stack. Will in the 4th seat has 28 big blinds. Everybody else has 40 or 40 plus.
Yeah.
And 40, as I said, 40-minute levels. There's plenty of room to play some poker here. So, you know, the better the structure, the more skillful usually the poker is. When it gets
Agreed.
short, it just turns into a shove fest, as you know, sometimes, and it's just whose hand holds.
Right, and you know, a lot of times short stacks can kind of handcuff each other, which will lead to a big advantage for the big stack. Here we don't see that, so you know, this could lean to more towards skill rather than luck, and just you know, how the final table.
Yes, I agree.
4 raises, 70,000.
We'll got the King Jack suited under the gun here. He was one of our short stacks with 850,000. He's going to raise it to 70K. I played with Will all day today at my day 2 table. He was nursing a short stack until I busted. I guess he went on a run after I busted to get him here. He was stalling at the when we were on the bubble, or right before hand for hand. So it was nice to see him get that chip stack all the way up, all the way here to the final table. It can happen.
Here Glenn defends with a queen 6 in the big blind, which I like a lot. A lot of people don't defend as much as they should have. He has. Now he's hit middle pair and led right out.
Yeah, Donk leads right into him.
Actually, was it?
I guess maybe
We missed
maybe
some
it was
action.
Check on the flop.
Sorry. And led on the turn. So I like it better. I was about to say I don't like the lead, but after it goes check, check, I absolutely like the lead on the turn. Graphics, just a little slow coming up there. Apologize for you viewers.
Yep, something to note, you see Will raising from under the gun, completely whiffed the flop and slowed it down. Didn't go with the traditional C bet, which we know with middle pair probably wasn't going to get through. Able to save a couple chips there.
And I think that was a monotone flop, wasn't it? Didn't
Yeah,
come up all diamonds?
3 diamonds, that's right.
Those are always interesting spots to play when you don't have a diamond in your hand. You see a lot of people lead there small, hoping that the opponent doesn't have a diamond in their hand. I think I probably would have, even though it might not have worked there. Probably wouldn't have worked, but who knows? Maybe a king or a jack was on the way.
I mean, maybe if you can lead big enough, maybe you can get a guy to fold middle pair, but
Yeah, no, he wasn't going anywhere with middle pair for sure.
yeah, that flop 6 or 5, 6, 8 just really can hit the big blind's defending range. A lot of hands call a bet, so I actually like him slowing down with the king jack there. With his stack, I don't mind seeing him just fold that one pre-flop. Tell you the truth, under the gun, he doesn't have a lot of room. He can't just be c-betting every flop, and if you can't c-bet every flop because your stack size, is going to be harder to win the pot. Of course, it's not terrible to be opening king jack suited as well.
Yeah, no, I'm perfect with 20-something big blinds. I'm perfectly fine with that open.
Guns 333 says, what are the payouts? 38,000 up top, and right now for ninth place is going to be getting 3,372. There you go.
I think I just missed some action there too, Eddie. But wasn't that an ace jack open and a c bet took it down on a missed board?
Yeah, it's with flop.
Yeah, and a small c bet.
Best hand, yeah.
Small c bet won. It's a good play there. I'm trying to read the streams and the chats on both sides. I'm missing some action. Sorry about that. Get zoned in here in a minute.
Chuck Eggs on Twitch says, great playing with you today, Eddie. Fun table. Yes, sir, it was. My table was one of the final 2, so we stayed all the way down all day and didn't lose many people. We had a fun time. I think there's only just Will is the player that made it to the final table from my table. So after I busted, they got the busting too.
All right, we said Doc was creative. Here we go.
Oh, just for the fans at home.
Just for the fans at home, 7 deuce offsuit in the hijack, and you notice he's hit it pretty hard, 130K.
Oh yeah, oopsie daisy, stepping in it. Eldon with 2 kings here in the big blind. See if Doc can find the breaks at some point here.
This is, and did he just flat call?
Oh, smooth,
I like
smooth
it.
call for Eldon.
Very sneaky, nice play. Uh-oh. If he'll just check it one time, Doc will definitely fire at this.
Top set for Eldon.
Quick bet out of Doc, 300 in the pot. What did he make it? Yeah,
225 into 300,
Yeah.
lighting that on fire.
a little over 70%.
Raisy daisy. Check raise here from Eldon. And Doc's gonna regret opening the 7 deuce.
A very small check raise with the set, hoping Doc has something like ace king.
Tell you what, Doc, with his sizing pre-flop and his big flop bet, he's lost
Yeah.
a third of his chips on that hand.
Yep, that was.
Wow, Doc down to
that's Doc.
890,000 here
You know
after
what?
coming in with 1.5 million.
We said before, Doc plays a different game, and he's effective with it. People can't figure out what he
he's
has sometimes. you
He's
know,
a habitual final tabler. He's
Absolutely.
You find Doc always getting down to it.
So people at home will see 7 deuce open, and they doesn't compute because most people won't do that, but he will. And if it rolls off there with a deuce deuce or something, he shows you the bad news. So I wouldn't try to mimic what Doc does, but he has there's a method to his madness for sure.
Yeah, be careful trying to do what Doc does. Don't try that at home. Just go ahead and let go of the 7 deuce, guys.
I don't have any experience with 7 deuce off, Eddie.
Oh, I know. Supernet, you definitely don't.
You're blowing my cover again. Here we go. 10-7 offsuit.
All right, James opening up from the hijack, 10-7 off.
These guys are playing, and it runs into another hand.
Eldon back-to-back big pairs, pocket jacks here in the small.
Looks like he flatted again, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna smooth call. See if he can flop top set again.
Or Mac's going to splash around with a 6-3 offsuit. I would expect to see him fold this, but yep, there he goes. He thought about it though. Start thinking about a lot of chips out there. Maybe I flop really big.
Yep. In contrast to what you were saying before about the Queen 6 defend earlier, it's for the viewers. You like a wide defend when you're the big blind and it's going to be heads up. A little different when the small blind comes in there and you're going to be playing in the middle of 2 players. You're going to be less likely to take that pot down. So in that scenario, you see Mac folding the 6-3 instead of coming along. I like tightening up once the small blinds came along.
Here we go, and another min
Wow.
check raise out of Eldon.
So it wasn't top set this time. It was middle set.
It's running good. And the 10-7 offsuit is, on a board like that, you're playing against the blind. You can, maybe make a small C bet, which he did. You would expect the small blind's range to be tighter than the big blind's range, certainly. So you got to give him credit for hitting a board like that.
Yeah, with a 10-7, you're not really winning with 10 high ever. So if you're going to win the pot, it's going to take a bet.
Yep.
I don't mind going ahead and squeezing a C bet if you chose to open it. But as you see in the past 2 hands, a couple loose opens, 7 deuce and 10-7 off, neither get through.
Yeah, I think both of those plays were unnecessary burning of some chips, but that's just probably how these guys got here.
Yeah,
was making some plays like that and hitting some flops and playing some concealed hands.
Yeah, sometimes you got to mix it up. You never know what you're going to flop. You could end up busting somebody, flop straight when somebody flops 2 pair or whatnot.
All right.
And if you ain't in there, it can't happen.
So Doc's limped again now, early position, and Eldon has called the button with 9-7.
Wow.
And here's James, you have pocket 10s. Even though James has pocket 10s here, we know that now. I think I would love to see a raise out of Eldon once Doc is limped in early position.
Yeah, I'd look to take advantage of these weak limps. With Doc, you saw him do it the one hand and then just check fold.
It's amazing he plays poker players.
What's he make it? Oh yeah, nice size raise.
Big raise, 3 limpers to you. I like the sizing.
7x.
Mac's gonna order from the waitress and then fold his ace-9.
Yeah, it's maybe a little big, but you definitely can't make your normal 3x there. I probably would have gone about 5x myself.
Well, I tell you what, with Doc being the first open limper, you might want to go a little heavy because he could induce a waterfall effect, and he likes to call. So
Yeah.
I mean, you might.
It's true.
You don't want to be 4 ways with pocket 10s after raising pre-flop out of position.
Yep.
You'd like to narrow it down to 1 if not just taking it down.
Yeah, that's
It's more
a good
like
point.
taking it down is plan A, and then one caller for plan B.
You're right. There's plenty of money out there after, what, 3 limps?
Yeah, there are 2 limps and then the small blind completing, so you're getting
Yeah.
3 big blinds just by taking it down right there. Ooh, Doc with 2 queens now.
Plus the big blind ante. See, I'd really like to see Doc, if he's going to limp the 8-7 and the 7 or whatever else it was that he limped early, let's limp the queens too.
I was thinking the same thing. Since he's limped a couple of hands in a row here, he could have maybe limped again and seen if someone tried to make a move on him.
There's Will folding 8-7 suited, and I think that's a good fold actually with his stack size after Doc opened early position, and now that Doc's raised, you know, he's gonna shrink his range a little bit, although we did see him raise the 7 deuce offsuit, so maybe not.
Well, that's true, but you would think after limping a couple hands in a row, his opens are going to be a little stronger. So
You see here Mac on the button with ace jack offsuit. He's being a little careful. A lot of people like to 3-bet that, but with Doc raising from early position, when we know that Doc likes to limp a lot of hands,
Yep.
Mac's being cautious with his ace jack, and Greg, looks like Greg folded.
Greg folds the pocket
Pocket
fours in the big blind. Perfect
Yeah.
time to try to spike a set and get paid. He makes the tight laydown.
Yeah, saved himself 75,000. What was the raise? No, 125. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what it was. Maybe the size of the raise. It's a little over 4x. Doc's open big with his queens. I didn't notice that. We are still at,
Wow, Doc checks it over
oh boy.
to Mac.
This might
Mac
get
checks
interesting
back.
now. Now
Top
Mac,
set for Doc and open-ended. Small bet, 125 for Doc. Mac calls.
easy call for Mac. Now he's missed.
Yeah,
See
Mac,
what Doc does for value here. 575 in the middle.
small 225, looking to get some thin value. Mac with just ace high can't beat much at all.
No, he can't call, but he's thinking about raising.
Uh-oh.
Hoping Doc missed a draw. This is going to end badly. I think he's going to fold it, but he's considering it.
Maybe thinking better of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna let it go. Good fold for Mac. We know Doc was gonna snap.
I like that Mac was thinking about it though. Would have been bad on in that specific run out, but you never know.
Right.
With a C bet, it was a check. It was a check on the flop.
Yeah, flop was check.
Check, and then a bet on the turn. You know, there's a lot of draws that Doc could have picked up that he missed. That a bluff raise may work. There's another spot if they were deeper than this, maybe Mac, or they weren't at the final table. Maybe Mac can make that play. I know Mac's got some game.
Oh yeah, he's capable of making some moves.
There's Doc with a 9-5 suited. He can't let those go.
Wow, Doc just
That's a premium holding for Doc.
gonna call under the gun. 9-5 of diamonds.
See, here's another limp.
And Eldon wakes up with ace king suited.
Yep. There's some hands out there. This is a good example of why you don't have to play hands like this in the 8-7 and the 7 deuce. You can just let it come to you. Some people feel like they need to be aggressive when they start playing outside of more standard ranges.
Yeah, I
for
think
opening.
Doc just gets bored. You know, he just wants to play some pots.
He likes to see pots.
He'll just whatever two's dealt to him,
oh, watch
he'll utilize. Oh,
Now-
Greg on the short stack in the small blind, 2 jacks.
this. Yep.
Yep, seems like a standard shove all in, and Eldon with ace king suited and over 2 million.
That's about,
Gonna have to look him up.
what's that, 20 big lines roughly?
Yeah, a little less. Slightly
Yeah,
less.
there we go. We're gonna get a
There we
get a
go.
race.
Ten high flop, 1 club.
Couple of back doors. And
Jacks are gonna hold.
Jack's holding a quick
Greg's
double.
gonna find the double.
Really starts to balance out the stacks.
Eldon, who came in hot, picking up a set of kings and a set of jacks, now gets a little flesh wound with the ace-king suited.
It's about a third of his stack, too. You know, it's not
Yeah, a little
insignificant.
more than a flesh wound. He lost an appendage.
You know, some of these guys, Doc specifically has a $200,000 cash under his belt, and Max got a couple of decent size wins. Brian in the 9 seat has about 60,000 in live earnings reported. So there, there's a little bit of experience here at the final table. A couple of these other guys, we weren't able to find anything on them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not experienced. This means that some of their wins, wherever they play, might not be getting reported on some of the poker databases. But my point was, some of these guys might not be that experienced in these kind of final tables, and they might be very cautious trying to ladder up here. First place is nearly $40,000 for a $360 buy-in. That's pretty good return on your investment. So
absolutely, there's not a final table that goes with people who aren't looking to inch up, looking to ladder up, looking to make the pay jumps. Everyone's aware of it, and not everyone's playing to win, which is fine. A lot of people, you can make a lot just waiting people out at that final table. A lot of times that strategy works well.
If your hands can hold. And here's Glenn opening to 80.
Glenn, fresh off a double.
Oh, that was Greg that doubled, wasn't it?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
Glenn's in the 3 seat.
Doc, king 9 suited, certainly good enough to go ahead and see a flop here.
Oh, for sure. Now, I like this defend by Doc. Let's see what Glenn does with the queens now that the ace came. He's going to make a C-bet.
He's not hesitating.
Nope, fired right out. Maybe a little too quickly.
150? Yeah, 150. Doc just folds.
Yeah, queens.
Glenn not worried about that ace.
A lot of times when the ace flops, kings and queens are difficult hands to play. I think a lot of people like to bet there to represent the ace. A lot of people like to check there because they're not afraid of an overcard coming. They're in their mind, they're way ahead or way behind. I tend to check there quite a bit myself. How do you play those, Eddie?
I tell you what, I like a bet, and I like it because your Doc is calling you with worse. Like, if I bet and I get called, I don't just necessarily think I'm beat. I mean, Doc calls with any piece of that flop, any of the bottom or middle pair, and sometimes he'll just call with some gut shots.
Yeah.
Some backdoor. If he has like 10 jack of spades and the ace of spades is out there, he might see a turn. So I mean,
that's a good thought.
With his likelihood of calling, I just go ahead and bet.
That's a really good thought. Most people are worried about the ace, but you're right. Doc can be in there very wide, as we know. Okay, Glenn here raising
Under the gun.
Right, this next hand. Same raise with pocket eights this time. Here's a call on the button by Brian with king 10 suited. Again,
Doc gonna come in there with 7-8.
if they're touching, Doc's playing.
Yeah, and sometimes when they ain't.
And Brian being a little careful on the button with king 10 suited. I like this play with the under the gun open.
Nancy Pelosi's face up.
Although that is one that a lot of people 3-bet their button with king 10 suited at these stacked depths. Put a little pressure on the under the gun and maybe take it away post flop.
Yeah, I like the flat. I think Glenn's going to be one of our more snug players, and this is his second hand in a row opening and under the gun. He's probably likely to have a pretty good hand.
Yeah, and here he goes with the C-bet of 180. Pot was 300, right?
Brian definitely not going to be folding his top pair here.
So he's betting 60% of the pot, and C-betting into 2 players, which is.
I don't hate the C-bet. Obviously, once you get called, you got to shut it down because there's really nothing they're calling with that you're beating at this point.
Brian going for some value. Let's see if he goes with a small bet here to try to get paid off by a weaker hand. 150. Here's a call on the button by Brian with king 10 suited. Again, if they're touching, Doc's playing. That's a good thought. Most people are worried about the ace. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a tough spot for Brian to get paid by anything. You got to hope the guy's got 8s or 9s. Even then, he might find some folds.
About a third.
There's just no draws out there that he could have called the flop and is now bluffing the turn with.
Yeah, this is either he has it or he doesn't, and I just give him credit for it, making the fold, which I would have expected.
Yeah, unlikely that Brian's even going to call with ace high on the flop. So there's just not a lot Glenn's beating. He figures it out pretty quickly and makes the good fold. Thug Life, Tony Wynn in the Facebook chat. Welcome, buddy.
Yeah,
Zach Sheffield.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Twitch, YouTube, and on Facebook. Thanks for the likes, follows, and the support here on our Best Bet live stream. A couple things happening here. We are on the cusp of the World Poker Tour Series. The next event is going to be a big one, the $200 buy-in, 50K guarantee, event number 5 of World Poker Tour Series. And guess what? We're going to be doing something a little special for that event. We're going to be adding a 5K main event seat to first place.
That's 5K to the 570?
Yep.
Oh.
No. It's going to be
The $200 buy-in
Okay, to the
Monday and
50K.
Tuesday.
To
the 50K, the
Gotcha.
$200 mine, which
Gotcha.
starts tomorrow at 11. And again, first place, we're going to add another 5K seat from us,
Yeah, I think
not
that's,
out of the prize pool.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's great. That'll get a few more players down here on Monday and Tuesday. Unfortunately, I won't be one of them, Eddie. I've got to go out of town next week, so you're gonna have to do all the heavy lifting by yourself.
I'll see what I can do. Try to take it down while you're out of town.
Have you guys got a main event seat yet? I mean, we've been promoting satellites for the main for the last 2 months.
I haven't played a Saturday yet.
Haven't played a Satty yet.
No.
No, I haven't had a chance to play one yet. I'll probably play the Mega the night or two before we get back into town. It's a great event. Hopefully, we get a lot of people out and run up the prize pool.
That's 100 fishes that we put in to our events here at Best Bet Jacks.
Oh, yeah.
About 100 players satellited in before we even start.
You know,
That's fantastic.
I think that's what draws so many of the pros from around the country to come into town and play.
Oh,
You know,
100%. That's what they say. It's the softest 5K of the year.
I believe that it is.
We're happy to accommodate.
That's right.
We're part of that.
We are part of that. You know, it's a great opportunity for some local players to come down and have a chance to play against some of the best players in the world. Who knows, maybe you run good, get to a final table, and just like Doc, get your picture on the wall.
That's right.
So come on down. Come on down to Best Bet. Play against the best in the world.
Come on down and win you a couple 100,000.
All right, I'm sorry I missed this action on this flop when we were doing the promotions. But we got 4 ways, and we're at the turn. And here's Doc making a little stab at this since nobody bet the flop.
Looks like Eldon must have opened the ace-9. Doc calls the button with the 6-7. Both blinds come along. Doc with the 7 high
Did we
leads right on the turn. Not gonna win it by checking.
did we just see a king fold?
No. King
I thought
queen.
I thought
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
what-
king queen. I thought I saw king queen fold. Sometimes,
king and a straight draw.
yeah, but there were 3 hearts out there and 2 jacks. I guess you just didn't feel good about it, but I'm going to probably see that one. You know, just for the viewers at home, most of you already know this, but some of you may not. There are chip readers in the cards, and they get placed in the white box on the table, as you see the players doing right now. And every now and then, they'll put a card on top of one another, or for whatever reason, we won't get the correct card. So we're never 100% sure what they might have.
That one seemed a little suspect, but I mean I've seen people fold worse.
Yes. Okay, here's Jamesy with ace-king early position. Going to make a raise. Let's check his sizing. We're still at 30,000 big blind. Expecting about 60 or 65 here, maybe 70. Well, never
85,
mind.
yeah.
85.
A little large.
Almost 3x.
Kimberly Simpson says $200 tournament tomorrow. What time? How many flights? It's a $200 50K guarantee.
And
2
that,
flights tomorrow, 2 flights Tuesday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. each day.
and that's right, guys. The 50K guarantee. And again, first place will receive a added 5K main event seat.
I think that's fantastic. Should bring a lot of people down to play.
Oh, that's a great incentive. They're adding 10%.
All right, guys. And in the form of giveaways, too, we do have to give away a RFG STL seat here on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and announce that. We will do that when we break to heads-up play. So you're going to have to keep watching, and once we hit heads up play, I will definitely do that giveaway here on Facebook.
I love it. Keep them viewing.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go with Doc is called, flat called in the cutoff, and now he's swapped the flush draw. James, you making a little c-bet here, 245 in the pot. Makes it 160. These guys are putting some large sizing out there in the c-bet in the modern poker. Doc's probably just going to flat. See if he can make his flush.
Looks like he's raising. A little slight min raise to 325, putting the pressure on Jamesy with just ace high. It's going to be tough to continue even at that price.
With no spade in your hand.
Not the spot you want to be in.
With his stack size, this might be a call. He's getting the right price, actually. But if he gets to see the next two cards, that's the whole point with Doc's check raise here, I think, is so he can see a free river. But it's gonna work.
Well
Nice.
done, Doc.
Nice little min raise with the flush draw, and I think his plan here is if he misses on the turn, he checks back the turn and gets to see both cards for the min raise. So
Yeah.
I like that play out of Doc.
Rather than call flop and then have to call a bigger bet on the turn, he's somewhat dictating the price and giving himself an opportunity to take it down right there.
Right. And had Jamesy known that, knows he's going to get to see both cards. If he makes that call for 165 more, whatever it was, he's getting the right price because he's got about a 25% chance to hit the ace or the king on the turn in the river. But if one of them is a spade, so he doesn't really have as many outs as he thinks. And that's probably what he was thinking was I don't know where I stand if the ace or the king of spades roll off here. So let's just get out of here. Doc can have two pair sets. He can
Yeah,
have
even an ace or king offsuit could give Doc two pair. If Doc has something like ace queen or king queen.
yeah.
I didn't disagree with the strategy.
They call those dirty outs.
Yeah, exactly. A little unsure, he goes ahead and
I do quite a bit.
folds it down to the min raise.
Nothing.
And Doc's showing us some of how he mixes it up a bit.
Making an observation.
We've seen him limp the 7-8 offsuit. We've seen him open queens. We've seen him open 7 deuce. We've seen him defend king 9. We've seen him defend queen 8.
Like I said, Doc is very creative, not afraid to get in there and mix it up. And when the cards run his way, he runs up a big stack. He's a tough customer.
Very dangerous. Doc is very dangerous. Stephen Frazier, thanks for joining the stream, buddy.
Gotta warm up, guys. Sorry. 6 fold.
Mose Manor on Facebook chat says hello. Hello, Mose.
8 folds.
Doc finally folds a hand. 10-3 off, not in the range.
Just outside Doc's range. Oh,
Will, I like the thought, but that's 20.
blackjack play here.
That is 21, 22 big blinds. I think if you're Eldon,
Oh, and Will's sick. He's sick that Eldon's even thinking about it.
we'll see. We'll see.
There's the
Yeah,
call.
yeah. He
And
thought about it.
The 9 deuce up against Eldon's king queen.
This is why any two cards can be a shove. It's not going to work out for him this time, it looks like, but you still have a 33% chance.
Ooh, makes the
with
straight
just
on the
about
turn.
any two. Yeah. Nice game.
And that's going to be it for Will. Shoves right into monster stack. Learned that one from Doc. Now Eldon's going to take the chip lead. Big chip lead with that pot.
You know, I find a lot of players here in Jacksonville, they'll shove wide ranges, and I think sometimes it can work because I think also I find a lot of the players don't call as wide as they should. And you saw Eldon hesitate there for a while with the king queen.
Well, here's 100% I agree. And obviously you can exploit them when they are making folding too much, but In a situation like that, you're doing it against the guy with all the chips. If Eldon had, say, 800,000, a million, he might fold king queen there because it's so much of his chips. But when he's got all the chips and can make a speculative call, you got to be a little more conservative, and you got to understand that he's going to be calling a little wider now that he has all the chips.
I agree. Very good point.
And he flopped his 9 too.
There was somebody just folded king, queen, 10 of hearts from early position. I didn't quite see who that was. The stream rolled up pretty fast.
2 raises to 80.
Queen 10 suited is probably going to be in my opening range at this stack depth from anywhere.
Yeah, 8 left too, or 8, 8-handed.
Yep.
James in the hijack's going to open the 9-7 off a short stack.
What's that? 6 checks.
Mac defends the big blind with Jack 10 off, flops middle pair.
Yeah.
Mac ain't going to be folding here.
No. Easy jack call.
James in rough shape, betting 80K out of his 440K stack with just 9 high.
Yeah, I think he's probably done with the hand, but
Oh, wow, another small bet. Mac checks. Now it looks like James is going for thin value.
I don't see Mac folding this hand at any point with 240 left in his stack.
Yeah,
pot,
James
600.
really painted himself into a corner here.
Yeah, although the club there on the river might scare him off.
Club could scare anyone. Yeah, Mac's going to use that club and try to get James to fold.
6 bets, 270.
Mac bluffing with the best hand.
2 fold.
Wow. James loses more than half his stack. Now he's our severe short stack with 8 left.
Yeah, I guess Mac's thought there was, I'm going to be calling anyway. I might as well bet myself.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like if somehow, I mean, it just looks like you have clubs. You check called 2 streets, and now you're putting the guy all in on the river.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of turned it into a bluff,
If
right?
I
Instead
think
of a bluff catcher,
if
you
Greg
turned it
has
into a bluff.
queens or a better 10, maybe he finds a fold.
Again, he's got most of his stack in there already. If he's got a king, I think he's going with it.
I would have liked to have seen what happened if Mac checks there.
Yeah, that's my point. If he had gone with emptied the clip, or shut it down and tried to play on with 8 big blinds.
World Series of Poker final tableist Zen Kai, welcome to the stream, sir. Congratulations on your run. Epic run. Zen finishing 6th, I believe, in the World Series of Poker main event.
Incredible run.
We were all rooting for you, kid.
I told him our seminar is free on Wednesday, 8 to 10. You know,
I think we missed Doc raising with the ace-3 offsuit, taking a pot down.
Taking it down.
Whoa, is that Zen Kai in the chat?
That's right, Zen Beast.
Oh, Zen Beast, what's up? Hope all is well. Hope all is great. Good fortune to you. Thanks for representing Best Bet at the final table last year. That was an amazing run, bro.
You guys have picked some pretty good dogs in the fight the last couple of years, Johnny.
Thank you. It's nice to be in the mix.
Yeah, it is. It's always nice to see Best Bet
Seems like
patches.
that best bet patch is a staple at these World Series final tables.
You and I'll be there next, Eddie. All right, Brian opening the ace-queen offsuit under the gun to 90,000. This is full 3x open, I think. Did the blinds go up and we didn't see it? No, bonds are up. Bonds are up
Blinds must be
20-40.
up. 20,000, 40,000.
So I like that sizing, 90,000. Around the 2.25x open. That seems to be the standard these days when you watch some of the higher stakes tournaments. Sometimes it takes a while for that to filter down to this price point. You see a lot of guys that grew up raising 3x, going to keep on raising 3x.
Yeah, we've seen already tonight some rather large sizings. Oh, Doc with 9-10 suited under the gun here.
Premium.
Premium.
Not yet, not yet.
Now James with 240K has
Now Doc
six big blinds.
Doc slimped it again.
Okay.
Limped under the gun.
Yeah.
Now Eldon's picking up ace queen offsuit. Let's see if he raises or he starts the waterfall of calls.
Everyone aware that there's a super short stack, so nobody's going to want to bust this hand and miss out on the pay jump.
He did raise 125.
Doc taking advantage. Oh no, yeah, Eldon with ace queen. Says no limping.
This is on a tape delay of 15 minutes, so these guys are probably getting word of some of the hands that Doc's been showing up with.
Good
Making
point.
an isolation raise here is a really good play.
Good point. Everyone at this point has heard that Doc opened the 7 deuce.
I think I would have made it a little larger than that. Would have gone more like 4x instead of about a 3x raise, but
Nice little fluff for Doc there.
Yeah, Doc might find a way to win this.
Whoa, check, check.
There,
Oh.
Doc makes the nuts.
Yahtzee.
that's how you do it. That's how you get your picture on the wall.
It's always that special feeling when you sting somebody for 10-9 diamonds or 10-9 suited.
Oh yeah.
He raises, and so you're right. Eldon never put another nickel in the pot after he missed the flop. After raising with the ace queen,
Alden playing rather straightforward. He's flopping sets and checking when he doesn't have anything.
well, and you're right. They all know there's a cripple at the table right now with under 10 big blinds. So, you know, the big stacks can take advantage, and the middle stacks just have to stay out of the way
Yeah.
unless they pick up really strong hands.
All right, James under the gun. Queen 6, pretty ugly. Is he going to put it in, or is he going to wait till he's the big blind? He's going to go all in right here.
Yeah, you know, I don't mind this play. With 8 big blinds, you know the big blind's coming next. You have to pay the big blind, so it's going to cost you a couple big blinds. Don't mind a fold either. Don't get me wrong, but I can see some merit to this fold. Maybe it's going to get through. Looks a little stronger from early.
Queen 6. One thing to remember is you might even get called by Doc with a worse hand. Doc doesn't like to fold. If he's got
Oh, my sonny.
7-6 here,
Sonny is in the house.
we may see Doc call and James be in great shape. Ooh.
Yeah, gets through. That's one more reason to get it in there. Before you have to pay the big blind. Now you're down to 6 big blinds, 5.5 actually. You pay the small, go one more, but
That's great news on the short stack when you can get one through.
All right, guys, just a reminder, the World Poker Tour main event will be starting on October 11th, Friday, with a 5K blind, $1 million guarantee. Day 1B that Saturday, October 12th. Satellites all the way through the week. Preliminary events, always something for somebody here at Best Bet Jacks.
That's right. Busy couple weeks here. This is the culmination of event 1, starting a big, nice long WPT series. A lot of out-of-towners in here. Cash games are great. I've seen I came in to play this Saturday morning, and they had a big, juicy, what was it, 20 or 5, 10, 25 still running from the night before up there.
That'll do it.
A lot of people in town playing high stakes. Come on down, take a shot.
yeah, this is really a great series to come into town. Brings a lot of players in, gives the local players a great opportunity to play, especially with all the satellites that are run here. A lot of high-hand ticket promotions given away, seats into the satellites. A lot of opportunity for people to play. So if you're viewing this and you don't come down very much to Best Bet, this is a great couple of weeks to dip your toe in the water.
All right, we got James H. all in, King, Queen at risk for
There
his
we go.
last 300K. Mac has made the call.
Mac opens the 6s and has to call the short stack all in.
Good flop for
King,
King
Queen flops a straight draw. Now any 10, Jack, Ace, 9, King, or Queen. King.
Yep. Double up for the short stack.
Mac's going to lose about 300,000.
So Mac's still at 25 big blinds or so. He knows how to play that size stack.
Mike Lee, yes, we are going to be streaming that high roller. I did have to move that ladies cash game to a different date, but Again, guys, here is our best bet live stream schedule for the month of October. If you see anything you like in the form of cash games, be sure to hit me up to play. You can reach me at my email at johnnyp@bestbetjax.com.
I'll be interested in that high roller live stream for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And there, speaking of satellites, there's a couple of satellites still to run to win a seat into that. I know Diane Casino won a seat into that high roller. It's going to be a great opportunity for her to play, see what she can do against some of the best players in the world. I'm anxious to see that.
That's right, yeah.
I do remember 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we had a local player that was able to satellite in and stone bubbled it for min cash at $91,000.
Oof, that hurts. That hurts.
Don't be surprised if you see Diane in that same spot with some chips getting close to the money. She has a way of
Hanging around.
hanging
that's
around,
right.
getting late.
Diane,
So
she's always making final tables.
here we go. You got a raise with ace jack from fairly early position, and Doc flatting with the same hand.
All right, battle of the ace jacks. Doc with position on the button here.
Glenn's thinking about defending with a 5-deuce offsuit and big blind, and I don't like this play. Like you said earlier, when you're playing heads up, defending is one thing. When you're not heads up, you need, in my opinion, you need some hands that are suited, connected, that can make something, or you can just get a flop like this. That's
Yeah,
the other option.
Or you could just call with the 5
You
high.
know,
and
if you know you're going to flop the straight
donk
flush
bet
and
right
then
into.
lead right out, both of them have ace jack. This is probably going to work.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind this play. I don't like to call pre-flop, but not a terrible spot to go ahead and donk lead. You're supposed to hit this flop as the big blind just defending. You got all the 2 pairs, the straights.
I think I don't actually mind the lead out there into 2 players. If you're ever going to do it, a flop like that is the one to do it on. However, I think I prefer the check raise. Let them put the C-bet out there. You got enough chips here. I think a check raise is better play than leading right out.
Tell you what, sometimes it goes check, 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 and then the king hits the turn, and you feel like you're handcuffed, and now you're just check calling with your straight draw, and you give yourself no shot to win the pot.
It's true. That's true. It's a risk you take by going for the more aggressive route of the check raise. I think leading out in general is something I try to avoid.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of. There shouldn't be a lot of lead outs. It's really an
Hi, David. How are you, buddy?
Exploitable.
exploitative play, though. It's like it's definitely not. You're not going to see it in your GTO material, but against the right players, I think there's spots that can call for it. I think that it's one of the deviations that needs to be made every now and then.
Well, you know, surprisingly, you'll hear a lot of players say never lead, never lead, never lead. But speaking of the solvers in the GTO, there are actually a few flops where the solver will lead sometimes, and it's on a flop just like that.
Yeah,
although
it's not
again,
actually 0%.
right. And the solver, although the solvers are always talking about heads up versus multi-way, or not all of them, but
Right.
most of the material you see is referring to heads up.
Actually, I think the fact that it was multi-way with is just is kind of a good reason to lead. It puts the first guy who opened in a bit of a pickle because now there's a guy behind him. So really, if you can just get behind, if you can get by the guy on the button, then you can win the pot.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, there's a better chance of the 2 over cards just checking back in that situation because it's multi-way.
Yep,
So
exactly.
that's a good point.
Heads up, more likely to get c-bet, so you could check raise, whereas
Right.
3-way, a little more likely to get check through.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how to play that spot because we're not calling the 5-deuce pre-flop anyway.
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, we had a ace-queen open, but again, I think there was a bet and a raise.
Looks like Doc must have opened the 5 high, and Eldon with a monster in the big blind again. Calls with ace queen.
This is the most I've seen Doc active at the final table.
Doc has bet, and Eldon has raised him with the ace-queen with really no draws, and Doc called, and now Doc had the middle pair and some back doors.
Can't see Doc.
Eldon putting the pressure on here.
These are some interesting lines here. And this is the spots Doc gets himself in,
Right.
playing his style. You know, a lot of times he has weak hands and bad spots, and maybe that's why Eldon's raised him on that flop. Check raised him on that flop, actually. He's thinking maybe Doc has some overcards, and he's trying to rep the low end of the range, and it turns out that their actual holdings are opposite of that.
Or reverse, yeah. He's thinking maybe Doc's got an ace high.
Maybe he's going to wait 15 minutes to get a text from somebody with a delay, tell him what to do.
Not bad strategy if they'll wait for you.
He doesn't need it. Just a reminder, Doc's a World Poker Tour champion.
That's right. He's
Picture
on the wall.
Every time I see him, I remind him that he has his picture on the wall.
And also, he is going to be a featured bounty in this year's World Poker Tour main event. If you knock Doc out, you got an extra payday of a $2,500 payday, knocking Doc out during the main event.
Well, you know, that's the thing about Doc. He's when he's got chips, he splashes around. He sees a lot of pots, but when he does get short, he can tighten up. So it's hard to knock Doc out. He splashes around with when he's got chips, as we've seen tonight. He's been in way more pots than I would have been in with his holdings, and I think you would have been in with his holdings, but he's in there mixing it up, and he's won a couple pots, and he's taken a couple pots away, like with that Queen 8 of spades, with that small min raise.
You don't miss many opportunities to play hands. Alex Griffin, thanks for joining the stream, buddy.
Uh-oh, here we go. I heard an all in. Brian's open to king, queen suited from under the gun. +2 to 90,000. And
James going to ship the king, queen suited for 640.
That's 16, 15, 17, 16 big blinds?
Yeah, 15 and a half big, 16.
I think
that's a big
call.
call off.
I think it's a call with king queen suited. I think that hand just has too much equity against the shover's range here. I think he's going to call.
Brian started the hand with 1.7. This would, if he calls and loses, he'd be down to $1 million. So still would have a maneuverable stack.
Yep.
What is that about event 5 with an added 5K seat? Eric Ridgway says.
Well, this is what's going to happen, guys. So Best Bet has decided to give away a seat, which means we're adding a 5K main event seat into event number 5 of our World Poker Tour series. So along with getting first place and first place money and the trophy, we're going to go ahead and award you a World Poker Tour 5K main event seat.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, this tank's taking a little longer than I expected,
Yeah,
and the longer you tank, the more likely they are to fold.
Agreed. And really, I think this is a tough play for Brian. Tough spot. I don't hate the fold. I probably would fold it the same. I don't like to do a lot of calling off, with king high.
Yeah, I get it, but it's 15 big blinds. You've already opened the pot. You're king, queen suited. He's shoving jacks there. He's shoving tens there. He's shoving ace jack suited there. There's a lot of hands that you're ahead of. Everybody's afraid of being dominated against the ace king and the ace queen, which I get, but that's such a small portion of the raiser's range typically in this spot. But again, these guys some of them are fairly inexperienced, so maybe they're thinking that the shoving range is that narrow, that it's just queens plus and ace king.
Sometimes it is.
And sometimes it is. That's
some
what I
certain
mean.
players for sure, they're looking at, say, ace jack in that spot and folding. But obviously not him. He's shoving the king queen suited as well.
Yep. So unlucky for Brian there that he got pushed off the same hand. But you're right. That's really just a math equation. How narrow do you think the shover's range is? How does my hand, what kind of equity does my hand have against that range? And then you fold or you call. In this case, he decided that range was so strong. And for all we know, that was the bottom of the shover's range, king, queen suited. And
and it was good. And it could be a good folded.
Yeah.
If king, queen suited is nearing the bottom of his range, then obviously it's a good fold. Just that time, he happened to be chopping.
Yep.
Leah in the Facebook chat says, "Hey Eddie, hey Kelly, former Best Bet dealer, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching."
Special shout out to Elia. Hello, hello. Illy used to help me out in her War Poker Tour events. Awesome employee. Miss you a lot.
Did she move?
No, she's still around.
Just doesn't work here no more.
She used to get me organized. of all the events that we run here, she was my little assistant that did all my paperwork,
Ah,
Oh, nice.
which is a lot.
Kelly's my assistant that does that.
that's right. You know, all the paperwork that gets done around me is done by my wife, the better looking Kelly Slay.
But she also run events, and she's just very, very good at her job, and we loved having her around.
Yep, absolutely.
She used to give us little keepsakes during the holidays.
Didn't she bake cookies too?
Oh,
What
yeah.
a good employee, right?
Cookies, snickerdoodles, all that.
My favorite kind of employee.
I think you need to give her a raise and hire her back.
I mean, at least on live stream nights.
Right. Stepped away for a second. Okay, here we go. We got Doc raising ace-5 offsuit from early position.
Mac on the button, Queen Jack suited,
And about
1.2 mil.
30 big blinds.
Doc,
Wow.
yeah, Doc's so
Kind of a-
unpredictable here.
Kind of
Mac
a
not
tight
sure
fold
what
for
to
Mac.
do.
You can even see people 3-betting that hand if you're maybe a little bit deeper.
Yeah, we haven't seen any light 3-bets yet.
No, I think that's especially on the button. I think that's definitely a call. At least in
Oh
my
yeah,
book it is.
against Doc, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's too wide, and honestly, he can make a mistake in a hand. Like you can flop a flush, and he can pay you off. Like it's
Right.
He plays so unpredictable that there's like extra incentive playing a guy like that because he can double you up.
Yeah, and he keeps betting a lot of times in spots where other people will tap the brakes.
Right. Vinny Caruso, one of the Ponytail boys. Welcome to the stream, sir. Joining us from South Carolina, I assume.
Here's Doc finding his gear. King 8 offsuit under the gun, making a full over 3x raise.
Doc going for it here. This is 10% of his stack he's putting out here with these opens.
Yep, and they're getting through. They're getting through. Well, this won't get through. Brian with 9-8 suited. You certainly expect him to
8-9
call.
suited, yeah. Not going to lay this one down.
This is a good example of what you're talking about. Depending on the flop here. Yeah, this is probably.
Oh, this is a Doc flop.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to see bet. Let's see what size he uses. 130, as I heard him say.
Oh, Brian.
Thinking about it, making a play.
Looks like he's going to raise.
I like it. It's gonna float. No, that's a raise.
I think it's a min. Is it a min raise?
It's a min click.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if he maybe he thought he was calling. I'm not sure. Either way, Doc's not going to know what to do with King 8 offsuit. Sure he does. He's
Design
gonna see
or
a turn.
no? Is that a design misclick or no? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It
It looked
didn't-
like he was
it
trying to
didn't-
count out calling chips to me.
Yeah, I think he was probably trying to call. A min raise with 9 high just doesn't make a lot of sense.
And now go ahead and turn the flush
Here's
draw.
the lead.
Now he's going to give it a little goose, I think.
Yeah,
840 in the pot.
We'll just call it all by design.
Sure.
Maybe it was.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
like that.
go ahead and play Doc in the pot. I'm gonna misclick it, and then I'm just gonna lead out.
I think this is
I'm
going
gonna miss min click it and then fire the turn. Yeah.
All right, so 320 into about 800.
Whoa!
Doc making a move.
Wow. Brian actually turns the flush draw after bluffing with 9 high, and Doc with king high puts him in.
Rebluffs.
I'm loving the way Doc is playing today.
Doc's not having it. Under the gun raise. He's really representing a strong hand here.
And notice Doc does have the king of spades blocker.
I'm sure he was thinking that.
Brian squirming. Just what did I do?
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Brian. Don't want to call it off with 9 high.
There's just so much out
One
there.
card to come.
Yeah, I think he's got to let it go. Got to fold here.
think the play may have been to just jam himself into Doc.
Well,
Because you don't want to bet and fold such a good hand.
Well,
such
I
a
mean,
good draw.
Doc's really representing an overpair here of some sort, right?
All day. Doc's trying to say, I got aces or kings.
So I
Fold,
think-
fold your 10.
Yeah, Brian's going to let this go. Brian could have had a 4 in the big blind very easily, the way he played the hand. Turned the flush draw and led because he had min raised.
Right. Going
Or
to
check raise.
continued the story of him having a 4.
Yep. Or, but with the flush draw, which I like, you just don't expect Doc to stuff it here with the king 8.
Should have showed the bluff.
Doc says no.
Well, it's not a bluff. You
You
said.
have to wait for the stream.
Exactly. He had the best hand. Doc bluffing with the best hand again with
That's
the
right.
king 8. He's just on a different level.
I feel like everybody thinks it.
All right, guys, you guys are watching Doc Nabil Herezi, the 2014 War Poker Tour champion, winning $206K that year against James Calderero.
That's right. Beat Caldo heads up. Pocket 10s versus ace king.
And if you don't know James Calderero, he is a staple of Florida poker. He is one of the biggest players that you would know.
Definitely a high stakes tournament player.
He's been around forever.
Follows WPT a lot. You'll see him on all over poker content.
Legend has it that Doc hit a 1-outer to win that one.
Now, was he one outer? You know, the chips are so close at that point, and then when he hit it, the room just went so crazy.
Yeah, that's a
then
good video to watch.
When I was doing the announcing with Mike Sexton with it, Mike was like, "Is it over? Isn't it really over?" Like the room just went crazy. Like nobody knew what was going on. We didn't even know it was over.
Yeah,
We had
you
to
hear
count down
that?
chips.
You know something good's on the way.
After the final countdown, it was deemed that Doc did have him out chipped at that point and took it away from Caldo.
So here we are with Mac opening the hijack to 130, another large raise, a little over 3x. Brian flatting in the small blind with pocket 10s.
I like for Brian to go ahead and just rip it in right there.
I agree.
Mac should be opening pretty wide from the hijack. 10s.
And
Should be the best hand a ton of the time.
Doc's coming along with 7-6 offsuit.
Which is another reason why Brian should go ahead and ship the 10s because Doc likes to see flops, so he's probably going to come along too. It's much harder to win a 3-way pot with pocket 10s than it is heads up. So just go ahead and get it all in pre-flop.
Yep.
We got like
Max flop 2 pair, top 2 here, and I didn't see the size of the C-bet. I wanted to have missed it.
All right, Kelly, I think you have a little groupie here on Twitch saying hi.
That's right.
The better-looking Kelly
Hey,
Slay,
Kelly Slay.
who, by the way, also played in this event and had a really large stack with about 10 minutes to go at the end of Friday night and got it in on the turn with 2 pair. About, I think she had about 125 when she put her chips in, and the guy shoved. She had 2 pairs. She had aces and 6s. He had ace-9, and with an ace-queen 10-6 board. And unfortunately, the 9 fell on the river, and we got to go to Orlando to the wedding. So shout out to our friends, Jay and Val Kennedy, if they happen to be watching in Orlando. What a beautiful wedding you had for your beautiful daughter, Catherine. Honored to be part of it. At Interlochen Country Club, did a wonderful job down there, which explains why I have the bags under my eyes today.
Busy weekend for you guys.
It was. We didn't get to fire on Saturday. We would have liked to. As you know, I came back with whopping 12 big blinds and didn't last too long. Hey, look at Doc picking up aces now.
Wow. Doc building a stack to right around 2 million. Now picks up the 2 A's after Greg opens 10-jack suited.
You know, here's another spot. I wouldn't have minded seeing Doc just call here. As wide as his range is sometimes, I can see him maybe play a little slower with some of his big holdings.
Kelly says she's only tuning in because she loves us too. Isn't she tuning in for the research?
I doubt it.
Does she have the notebook in hand?
She's got her Celine Dion music on right now. Probably vacuuming at the house.
Oh yeah. The house got the house to
her
herself.
two favorite things to do.
She's hoping this final table lasts all night.
Actually, she's packing. We're heading out of town next week with some of our friends up to Maine. Get out of the hot weather for a while.
Just for you.
So Doc's 3-bet with the aces going to get through.
Aces get through. Doc shows it.
Just to let him know that when he raises, he means business.
Yeah, see, guys, I always got the nuts. Georgia Tech Jack says, hey, Kelly Slay called a C-bet with 4-4 and was good.
Yeah, she busted Jack.
She's tough, man. She's a lot tougher than you.
She does not like to fold.
She's the tough one of the bunch.
She's tough. She ran, I don't know if you watched it, but she actually had a min cash in the ladies lips tournament that was here. Cashed a couple times in the last series that was here. So
Yeah, she was actually on the live stream. I saw her.
yep, little card dead there. Didn't get a chance to show what she can do, but I expect to see her on the live stream here on a bigger event fairly quickly.
Eldon opening the ace-queen offsuit under the gun to 105. Jamesy with the same hand and on a short stack, 640,000. This looks like a shove to me as well.
15 big blinds, 16 big blinds. The only hesitation is the under the gun open. Eldon's been pretty snug. He's shown down some cover, but there he goes. He let it rip.
Yeah, it's just, I tell you what, is flatting and then whiffing and losing the pot is too detrimental when in a spot where you could have won just by shoving it.
Oh, for sure. I'm putting it in.
The swing, the big swing from winning, even if it just goes, if it folds through to actually losing the 105K is too much. I like to jam. Might even.
Ace-9 suited by Doc. He hated to fold out on the button. Then the small blind picked up King-10 suited.
Yeah,
Let that one go.
Eldon's going to think about it. He's not snapping.
Yeah, he's got a massive chip lead right now, doesn't he? 2.6.
Yeah, he's got over 2.5 million, and we saw him call.
This is 15 big blinds. I think this is a call all day.
Yeah, and he opened. We saw him call Will's all in with king-queen. Blind versus blind, though.
Will was a little shorter, I think, at the time, wasn't
No,
he?
he was. Yeah, he had like 22 bigs. It was.
Oh,
never
right,
was kind
right.
of
That was small blind versus big blind.
Yeah.
You're right. We talked about that, and he got that one right, and that's where he got most of his chips. He really hasn't been in that many pots.
And he's only had big monsters.
He's going to let this go, maybe.
Nah.
Now, there you go.
Nah, that didn't come to fold.
Yeah. So let's hope this is a chop. I hate when this runs off a 4 flush.
Eldon with the black ones, Jamesy with the red ones, 2 diamonds.
Okay.
All right, that's gonna chop it up.
Came all red.
Yeah, it did.
Makes your heart skip a beat.
Flush, all red. Brian Arbaugh, Brian Baker, Hung Lin, welcome to the stream, boys. Brian Arbaugh has made several of these live stream final tables. Took one of these best bet main events down a few years back, MSPT. I imagine he'll be making his way down for the WPT series this weekend or this week.
Yeah, it's a great series. A lot of people coming from a long way away to play poker here at Best Bet, which I think they should. So great place to play. 70 rooms. I think this is the biggest room in the state, isn't it? Still?
I would assume so. I don't know those numbers, but
We'll ask Johnny when he comes back. But
Doc ace-3 offsuit in the cutoff. It's going to min raise it to 80,000.
you know, Doc's mixing up his sizing, mixing up his range, mixing up his play from positions. He's hard to get a read on him. You never really know what he's got. Any spot he can literally show you any 2 cards, as we saw him open 7-deuce offsuit earlier.
Glenn going to see a flop with Jack-9.
Out of the small blind,
Eldon
Jack-9 offsuit.
getting a good price with Jack-6 offsuit here. Just a min raise.
I think I'm going to let this one go. Jack suit offsuit, third in the pot, even though it's only 40,000 to call.
Yeah, another situation like we were talking about earlier with being one of three,
Well,
much more difficult to win than
it's
when your
hard
head's
to
up.
flop well with this hand, and if you flop a jack, as we'll see right now, he's going to be in bad shape. Luckily, he whiffed it. Doc's hit the pair. Let's see if Doc bets this or just checks back the weak ace. I think a lot of people will put a check in here. Doc's going to bet it. 120, a little less than half pot. And it's going to get through because everybody whiffed.
Yep, Doc's going to take it down with top pair. Doc cruising up over 2 million now. Gaining on Eldon. Eldon with 2.6. Now Doc up to about 2.4. Greg picking up 2 kings.
See if James, he lets king 10 offsuit go under the gun. I think this is a fold. And he makes a fold.
He's been pretty snug at this final table.
Yeah, a lot of people sit there all day.
Oh, wow. Greg wasn't at his seat.
And had the kings.
Wow. Greg, bad time for a bathroom break. He's going to miss out on pocket kings.
Some of his friends watching the stream, be sure and text him. Put him on tilt.
Oh, he's going to hear about it. Mac in the big blind with 8-6 of diamonds.
Is that a raise?
Looks
No,
like
he's going to limp it. Mac's going to tap the table with queen 6 to see a flop. All right, Mac's hit middle pair. I'm sure he's going nowhere with this one. Yep. There's a check. I expect to see Eldon squeeze off Mac to make a little bet here, and that'll do it. Middle pair is usually going to be the best hand. You expect, especially with these players, to be raising with an ace in their hand in the small blind.
Yeah, I like really betting that ace high flop, no matter what my hand is for Mac.
Yes.
You know, when it's real unlikely for the small blind to have an ace, it's unlikely for him to continue. Like he has to have middle pair or bottom pair, and sometimes even some of those hands can fold.
Yeah, if not on the flop, on the turn.
Exactly. If they do call a bet, you can put some more pressure on the turn and win an even bigger pot. Sarah Porter, thanks for joining the stream. Welcome. Another best bet dealer. A lot of best bet action in the viewership.
Okay, Eldon with the queen 6 suited on the button. I know you and I are opening that. Let's see if he does.
Oh, yeah, he's grabbing chips.
Wow, they're going for some large sizing. Although I don't mind it a little bit larger on the button. I like it smaller everywhere else, but the button I like to give the blinds just slightly worse odds to continue. A lot of people are going to call no matter what.
I like that open from Eldon, especially James. He's probably been our tightest player at this final table. I'd be going ahead and attacking his big blind every chance I got. Queen 6 suited, certainly good enough to do so. Ashley Wright, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. You are listening to Eddie Marskoski and Kelly Slay call the action. First place, $38,780.
Yep, we've only lost one player so far. We said when we started the stacks were a little deeper than we see sometimes at these final tables. It gives them a little bit of room to play. And
that's right.
Lets guys like Doc stretch their legs a little bit and get in there and mix it up with some non-standard hands. Let's call them those.
Doc putting on a clinic. He's winning with 7 deuce and he's winning with pocket aces.
That's the full spectrum.
Exactly.
That's the full range. Here we go.
He came in this final table with 1.5 mil, quickly went down to about 800K. Now has jumped back up to about 2.4 million.
All right, James has just shoved the 15 blinds from the small blind with ace-jack suited. I don't hate this play, but it's such a strong hand, blind versus blind. I might have made a smaller open, try to get Greg to come along and defend something. But you always take a chance of getting outflopped that way. So when you're short, just taking it down is never a bad thing.
Absolutely. Sometimes winning the pot right then and there, a lot to be said for that. And also with a hand like ace-jack, you can get called by worse hands. Like if Greg has ace-10, ace-9, king-queen suited, something like that, you know, let him call off so you can have the big advantage while all in. Terrence Callahan on Facebook says, is this the final table? Yes, it is. There are 8 left. We came with 9. Started this tournament with 562 players, paid 60. 8 left.
Here's Doc opening 6-5 suited under the gun, and James behind him with the same exact hand puts it in the muck, as he should, from that position.
Anthony Dominguez asking for a shout out from Texas. Welcome to the stream. Got the thumbs up, nice.
How much poker is in Texas? I wonder.
There's a lot of card rooms in Texas.
Yeah, I hear the games are actually good. They're like specific, just poker, right?
Yeah.
Just card rooms.
I haven't played, but when I'm in Vegas sometimes I talk to guys from Texas, and they say they basically have like storefront card rooms. And I say, are they legal? And I get a nebulous answer.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but if you go in there, they'll give you chips.
I think it depends on how they rake it and how they do it, and how friendly the local authorities are.
Yeah.
Here we go. There's a 3-bet with Brian with the jacks. I didn't see how big this C-bet was. Sorry.
Yep, Doc
3-bet.
Yeah, Doc opens under the gun, and Brian from the big blind puts in a big 3-bet. Doc's going to lay it down.
Okay, just a reminder, we do have a giveaway for you all. So we've been giving away these seats to the RFG STL, which means the Royal Flush Girls satellite. If you haven't ever seen that satellite go on, this is how it works. We live stream the satellite for a $590 buy mega satellite seat. You'll play with 6 people from World Poker Tour. Some of them are the RFG STL girls, Royal Flush Girls, and also some talent from World Poker Tour. But we pick 6 players to play in this event, and we'll live stream it. So again, we'll do that giveaway when we reach heads up play, and we'll do that on Facebook. So be sure to tune in on Facebook when we hit heads up play, and we'll award that seat.
Great.
Stay tuned.
Another good example of why you should come down to Best Bet. Lots of giveaways, lots of promotions, lots of satellites. Really great opportunity for the local players to get into higher priced events that they might not quite have the bankroll to play. Specifically this 5K buy-in event, you can get in, you can get a satellite into a satellite. So you can get into these, I think, what, 120, John?
$120 can get you a
5K.
5K main event seat, and that 5K can net you $300,000 to $400,000.
Absolutely. So it's a great opportunity for people to come down and play. You can play in the cash games and win some satellite tickets into satellites to get you into events, or buy right in and see if you can run it up.
Looks like blinds are up to 25,000, 50,000 here, and Jamesy's going to open to 300,000, about a little less than half his stack with 2 5s. Actually going to get Doc to fold a suited ace. So the price of poker has gone up. Stacks are shorter. Luke Cox from Georgia checking in on Facebook, says loves the show. Thanks for joining, Luke. Michael Singleton from Fayetteville saying, let's go Red. Not sure who Red is, but I bet he's from Fayetteville.
Well, let's see. Who was the guy from South Carolina? I think that was the 8 seed. Greg Yoder. Maybe that's him.
Yeah.
Chapin, South Carolina.
All right, real quick, guys, I'm going to throw this link in here for you all. This is our World Poker Tour YouTube video of our RFG STL satellite. And pretty much watch that video, and you'll learn how what this satellite is all about.
There you go.
Here's Mac opening ace king from under the gun +2, and James, you picking up pocket eights with what, less than 20 big blinds? See a lot of people let it rip right here with the middle pair.
Absolutely.
There it
He
goes.
does.
I like the play.
Mac's not going to be folding that ace king when he gets back around to him.
No, he's not. But he does get a lot of folds in that spot. And when he's called, his hand has tremendous equity against the calling range for Mac, unless he's unfortunately against a higher pair, which is, as you know, unlikely.
Doc with ace
Doc
queen.
with ace queen.
Might be thinking about doing something squirrely here.
Oh boy, this might be a reshove from Doc right into Mac.
I'll tell you what, if he reshoved, Mac may find a fold.
I don't know if Mac's gonna fold ace king with, what is that, 20 something big blinds, 25 big blinds. Well, I guess a few more than that, 30 big blinds. He might, if he thinks Doc's only doing it with aces and kings and queens and ace king, he very well could find the fold. You're right.
Wow.
If he's flat calling,
Ooh, just a
Doc,
call from
Doc just calls. I'd just be piling it here.
yep. If you're gonna play it, you put it in. Now what's Mac gonna do? Because that's half of his stack.
Yeah, to just put it in.
I think so, but Doc just flatting actually looks a little stronger to me than the shove, than the reshove.
Not really. I mean, some people maybe. If I do that, be a little worried because if I have aces, I am flatting. I don't think Doc is. I think when he has aces and kings, there he says all in because he wants to win the guys all in. Doesn't want it to be 3 players. I think it's a clear jambo for Mac.
It is.
Doc
for me.
shows up with a lot of pairs, a lot of ace queens.
Yep.
And can actually fold. Like he can call with 9s or 10s right there, and then when Mac shoves,
Well, it's
fold.
only $500,000 more for Mac, right? So I don't know even if you're Doc with ace queen, that's the problem with calling.
Right.
Is what do you do if Mac shoves here? So I think you're right. I think if I was going to play that hand, I'd have put it in.
Yeah, Mac's actually probably giving away too much about his hand strength here. Had he may have looked confident and jammed.
Mac's laying it down.
Oh,
He's given Doc credit for a very tight range. We talked about this earlier.
Not going to be happy to see this.
No.
Doc gets ace king to
You see
fold.
Mac's sick in his stomach right now.
All right, Jamesy at risk will.
Oh, king right on the
king
flop.
On the flop.
Doc needs a jack, ace, or queen. Mac getting sick on the sidelines.
Getting a super sick.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Doc hits the ace. Mac in tears. And Jamesy is going to go out in 8th place. Jamesy's going to take home $4,215 for 8th place. Nice payday for Jamesy.
I thought Jamesy played well.
Yeah, I did too. I think he came in, played pretty cautious, pretty snug. Got a pay jump. Unlucky for him, he loses a flip even with Mac sharing cards. So actually a little better than a flip situation, but couldn't.
Look
couldn't fade
at
the
Mac
ace or
though.
queen.
Look at Mac. He is sick to his stomach.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
you know what?
absolutely.
I like Mac. Mac's one of my favorite guys out here, but I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think he's gonna agree. You know.
Well, you know what?
once we
It's
talk to
easy.
him
It's
afterward.
easy for us to say it's a mistake when we can see the Doc has ace queen. But in Mac's shoes, when Doc comes back over the top after he's opened early, then there's a shove, and then Doc cold 4-bet shoves. In Mac's mind, the worst hand Doc's going to show up with is ace king.
But he didn't. He flatted. He just called. He didn't
right.
call. He didn't cold 4-bet. He just called
Yes.
from the blind.
Yeah. If anything, just a call would have been a reshove for Mac. I think if it was a raise, I think you can dump it in that spot.
Yeah.
I don't know what Doc would have done if Mac does put it all in. I'm not sure exactly how much more it was, but if Mac puts it all in, his hand looks incredibly strong, and ace queen shrinks in strength, and Doc's good enough to know that.
It does, but it was only like 500,000 more for Doc, and you're right. Doc's capable of folding that
10
spot.
big blinds is still 10 big blinds.
Yep.
All right,
Now,
another
James.
all in from James. Queen Jack.
I certainly expect.
Looks like Doc calls or flat calls the button with 9 high. James calls from the small blind, and now Glenn just jams ace jack suited. Wow. And James is going to look him up.
No, Glenn overcalled with the ace jack, right?
No, James called from the small blind with queen jack, and then
No, he shoved.
the big blind jam.
No.
No.
Small blind
James
shoves.
small blind
Oh, okay.
shoves.
Doc
Glenn.
limps. Gotcha. Doc limps. James shoves.
Yes.
Now Glenn's going to look him up with ace jack. That makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. So
right.
Doc ended up very fortunate in that hand. He's got the worst hand of the three, ends up tripling up almost. Or not tripling up, but winning the three-way
Huge
pot.
pivotal pot for Doc right there. That could have went terribly for him if Mac does something different.
Yeah. Mac's going to be sick about this one for a while.
Yeah. Still some play left.
There you
Mac
go.
still got some chips.
Okay, ace jack. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why Mac made the laydown, because he's got chips to play with later. Maybe, the proverbial pick the better spot.
Right.
So he,
I'm sure that's what he was thinking. It's a little more cautious.
yeah.
And just like that, guys, back-to-back knockouts. We have 6 players left. That's
Down
this
to
final
6.
two.
That's Greg. Glenn or Greg that just busted?
That was James that just busted.
No, but after James.
Oh, after James, that was James.
was
James
another
and
James.
Jamesy.
That was James in
Oh,
the 2
James
seed.
and Jamesy, yeah,
James
okay.
Holland in the
Okay.
2 seed.
James Holland busting 7th place for $5,058. Leaving us 6 players. Brian on the short stack with 17 big blinds. And Doc with $3.2 million after that ace on the river. Commanding chip lead.
John, are you mind putting that back up one more time?
Absolutely.
Let's see if we can narrow this down a little bit. Okay, so 3.2 for Doc, 2.7 for Eldon. Give me a second. 2.1 for Glenn. 1.4 for Mac. So Mac's still got almost 30 big blinds, right? So maybe he can turn it back around.
Absolutely. By no means out of it. Blind versus blind here. Glenn raises ace-10 suited from the small blind. And Eldon defends the big blind with jack-7 suited.
There's Johnny out there getting the chips.
That's right.
You see Johnny just ripped. He's been in the gym. He's getting all buff.
You.
He
It
needs
is.
a little bigger shirt, I think.
Sunday Guns Day. He's a little bigger shirt.
Hey, I'm not the weird spot where it's a medium, so I can't really buy smalls. I'm not big enough for a medium yet. It's like a weird spot.
Yeah.
Not big enough for a medium yet.
Neither are you, Eddie.
Yeah. I've never uttered those words.
All right, sorry. Glenn takes a pot down, small blind versus big blind with ace-10 suited.
It looks like that one goes check, check all the way down, and ace-high wins.
All right, guys, just a reminder, the War Poker Tour Series is in town, and we have a lot of preliminary events. The biggest highlight for our event coming tomorrow is the $200 buy-in, 50K guarantee, event number 5 of our World Poker Tour Series. And guess what? We are going to be adding 5K to that event because we're just feeling a little gracious, like gratuitous. First place is going to receive not only the trophy and the lion's share of the money, but also a 5K main event seat during the World Poker Tour.
All right, now we're starting to get some stack sizes where there's some ICM dynamics in play. Got a couple of kind of short stacks, under 20 big blinds. Brian there had 850,000.
Yeah, it's getting real now. Everyone guaranteed right around 6,000. So the pay jumps getting to be pretty heavy.
All right, here's our pay jumps, guys. So next person out is guaranteed $5,901.
Yeah, these next 2 or 3 spots are, there's a little bit of a jump there, but they don't get that significant till the final 3 spots, and that's when you'll start to see some of these medium stacks tighten up quite a bit here and hope the couple of small stacks bust correctly, I believe. But it allows the big stacks to really pour it on, and we've seen that Doc likes to do that. So
That's right.
Let's see. There are 17, 19 big blinds out of Greg, who's been pretty tight and solid so far. And Mac's still in 4th place, right? So I think that's why Mac made the ace-king laydown. If Doc would have had kings or aces there, we'd all be talking about what a great fold Mac made. So didn't want to come off too strongly against Mac in that spot. We certainly understand his thought process in a pot that size. After all, it is just ace high at the moment.
No comment.
I'm trying to be politically correct.
I see you working over there, Kelly. Nice guy, Kelly Slay, everyone.
I can just only imagine how you're going to roast me if I ever make one of these final tables.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Hope you make a blunder that I can just rip apart.
Oh, I will.
Oh, I will. All right, 4 ways to the flop here. 10-5-4, 2 diamonds. Not much out there for anyone. Eldon's
honestly,
ace-6.
Honestly, can't wait when one of you guys final table it and one of you guys are commentating and you just troll each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going down. Hilarious. It's going down.
I may make a final table and troll you from the table.
That's even better.
I may have to hold up some signs. Who is this commentator?
That's even better. You know, you don't usually see 4-way check through pots or a couple of limps and the blinds complete this stage of a tournament.
Absolutely
and
not.
We just saw it, and we might see it again. So, again, we're not quite sure how experienced some of these guys are. A couple of them didn't show up in some of the databases that we see, and we don't know how important laddering up is to these guys. So I actually am sort of anticipating some very tight play here over the next couple of levels until the blinds really run them down. We'll see.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot of it, Doc is dictating what happens. If he limps, they're going to be afraid to raise the chip leader because it's easy for him to defend. So maybe instead of raising, they limp behind, afraid of the chip leader. Now, if Doc raises, like you said, I think they're going to be playing a little too tight, and they're going to be folding. So really, how Doc goes is how this final table goes.
Well, here's a good example. He's limping the queen 3 suited under the gun. Mac here with king queen. He needs to be putting in a raise here, probably 4x.
There we go. That's how you combat this loose, aggressive style from Doc. Is you just got to raise him.
Yep.
You can't let him get away with these cheap moves. Seeing flops for cheap, you got to charge them.
And see, here's where Doc. A lot of people will just limp and just fold this if they get raised. Doc may take this card off here, and he's completely dominated. The queen comes off. It's going to be expensive for Mac. Luckily for him, for Doc. Luckily for him, it missed. See if Mac's going to see bet here with the gut shot. I like this play.
Yeah, absolutely. You represent that ace when it looks like you should have it.
He went almost half pot here. Easy fold for Doc with bottom pair.
Wow.
Although bottom pair and some couple of back doors, we've seen Doc make that call.
Yeah.
All right, guys, fun fact. The last event that Doc won outright, first place, WPT Deep Stacks event number 1, $360 buy-in, Nolan Hold'em, won it for $35K. So he won this event
100K
this year during the WPT Deep Stacks event number 1. So,
you're right. So
Doc looking to go back to back.
You know, Doc knows that people tend to tighten up and try to ladder up at this stage, and he's not afraid to get in there and try to pick up the blinds and antes. So when the deck is convenient for him, he can really chip up and put some pressure on people. So, you know, I think he's going a little too far with what he's trying to do, at least for my taste. But
we see it working out.
It's working. It has merit and has worked before.
Right, several times. Not just a one-time thing. He's won several tournaments out in Vegas. This summer, I think he chopped the Planet Hollywood tournament for a decent amount. So
just saw that. I have his Hindenburg up right now. He chopped up 8th place at the Goliath famous poker series, 50K, $260 buy-in. No, I'm sorry, $300 buy-in, one-day event. Got 8th place for a 3K.
Okay, they may have chopped it. I think he put a picture up or something, but
maybe it's an 8-way chop out there. You never know.
No, with those Goliath tournaments, it very easily could have been. Chris Ward, thanks for joining the stream, buddy. Welcome.
All right, be sure, guys, if you're watching our live stream, you have any questions at all of our World Poker Tour series, information, any questions at all about poker, what's up? Our commentators tonight, Eddie Marskoski and the great Kelly Slay. Just again, if you want to have any information given towards you, about anything, let us know in the chat.
Absolutely.
There's a question in the chat there about the $200 event on Monday and Tuesday. How many days is the 200?
There'll be 4 flights, 2 on Monday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Again, Tuesday, 11 a.m., 6 p.m. Day 2 on Wednesday at noon. So many chances to play, buying $200.
Yeah, another good tournament, 50K guarantee, which always exceeds that 50K. And then right after you finish day 2 of that, you can start the 570. Starts right after with 200K guarantee, right?
Yep, that's all right. $200,000 guaranteed prize pool for event number 7 of our World Poker Tour series. That will be this coming weekend.
Yeah, some great tournaments.
570 buy-in, 20,000 starting stack, playing 40-minute blind levels all the way through, and we will live stream that final table on that Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to miss the tournaments, Eddie, but I'll be back Saturday night. I'll be here Sunday to do the final table commentary for you. I'll see you at your final table.
So you're not going to be able to throw a bullet then?
No bullets.
Okay.
No bullets this week, but you'll probably see me around the week after that.
I seriously hate you all. You have no idea how much I want to play during these series.
Yeah, I bet.
I think we could make an exception.
Yeah, the tournament director should play
Yeah, let him in.
Think
these
so.
events.
As long as he's working while he's playing.
Exactly.
Here we go, Doc raising the button with King 10 offsuit. Eldon's going to call out of the big blind with pocket 6s.
All
Let's
right,
see a flop.
Two big stacks going at it here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, big flop. 10 high with a 6.
Quick check by Eldon with the middle set. Doc's going to continuation bet.
Let's see if Alden puts the check raise in like he has several times before. He does.
He does. A min check raise again. I don't think
Wow.
Doc's going to fold. Doc quickly calls it.
Looks like Doc raised, and now Alden. Doc
boy.
raised 800,000, and
Oh,
Alden's
boy.
went all in.
Quickly. Immediately.
These are the 2 chip leaders.
Doc might have overplayed this King 10 just a fair bit.
Doc already with 800,000 in there. 1.4 million more to call.
I don't think you can call another 1.4, can you? 1.5?
No, I don't. There's just
30 big blinds.
too easy to be drawing dead here.
I think Doc's play here, thinking that perhaps Eldon was making a move, or maybe has a draw.
Yeah, I think Doc's trying to target hands like 10 Jack, Queen 10, maybe some spade draws. But once Eldon puts that jam in, I mean, your King 10 just shrinks in strength.
I doubt.
Now the only thing you're beating is
Well, you're hoping to
some
see
kind of
the
flush
nut,
draw.
the nut flush draw or
nut flush
something
draw
like
or some
that.
straight flush draw, something like that. But that's just wishful thinking, and even then, at best, you're still coin flipping basically.
Yeah, you know, Doc has top pair. He does not have a spade in his hand. I don't know if Doc is thinking about that or not, but I don't think he can make this call. That's why I don't really like that raise either.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what.
You get check
A
raised.
limit game came out. Doc bets 200, gets
Right.
raised to 400, and then he raises to 800.
Right. You know, if you just call, you see a safe turn, you know, then you can proceed, you can make a decision. But now you've put another 600,000 in the pot, or I guess actually 400,000 more than you needed to. That was a.
He showed him. He showed him the set of 6s.
I guess he knows he's going to find out in 15 minutes anyway, but I'm not showing.
I'm not sure if Doc is going to find out. I don't know if he's got anyone on the horn letting him know or not.
He's got his phone right in front of him. I suspect somebody.
Yeah, maybe he's got sons that play. Maybe they're feeding him updates.
All right, small misstep by Doc, but he's still got a big pile of chips, and it won't slow him down.
Yeah, we're gonna chip leader now is gonna be Eldon. Doc loses a good chunk of his stack.
Yep.
Lost more chips than Brian has.
Yeah. And that was, you know, again, we got the 2 chip leaders jangling, which you don't really want to do much when you've got a couple of short stacks out there.
Terrence on Facebook says Eldon missed a huge opportunity to make some money. I agree.
Yep.
I like a flat that min raise and let Doc put you in on the turn. But Eldon playing it safe. He said he was gonna charge him the max if he had
Had
a
a draw.
flush draw.
Yep. You're thinking Doc may have a draw, and he's afraid of the flush coming. No, it's
Yeah.
like that.
The only problem there is Doc doesn't min raise. re-raise, min-raise with a flush draw.
Actually, he did. He did earlier with the queen 8.
No,
exactly the same play.
not a re-raise, min-raise.
Oh,
Doc
right.
bet, then was raised, and now he puts in a third
Yes.
bet. That
Right.
He wouldn't do that. He would always just flat call the min-raise, the
You're right.
initial min-raise.
You're right. He min-clicked when the guy made the C bet.
Right. He could min-raise just a bet, but not a re-raise already. Like he got
Yeah.
check raise and then min-raise to check raise.
You're right.
He wouldn't do that with the naked flush draw. Of course,
we think.
Eldon
We think.
may not know him as well. That's true too. Doc is kind of unpredictable, but just unlikely. We've seen Doc play enough. He's got a made hand when he does that stuff like that.
I agree. And he sort of turned his king 10 into a bluff right there.
Eldon takes another one, getting up to near 4 million.
Yeah, that was a big pot. Slowed Doc down a little bit, and now he's not the chip leader.
We see how it's done. Eldon just came in and flopped 3 sets.
Yeah.
And won all the pots. That's all you got to do.
I haven't flopped 3 sets this year.
Flopping a set. Who does that? Final tablers, they flop sets.
That's exactly right. Brian getting a little frustrated. Can't seem to pick up a hand.
Shannon Wood says, go Ludowicki. Brian Duma, take it down. Brian got some Facebook fans.
Brian's playing well.
Is.
He's been short. He's been patient, looking for a spot.
Brian asked to be referred to as the most experienced player at the table earlier. He's not quite the most experienced with Doc in there, but definitely one of the more seasoned players at this final table. Best bet regular. Find him at all these tournament series pretty regularly, and a little in the surrounding areas, Daytona. So Brian, well known around here.
Gets a lot of reps. Here we go. Mac opening small blind, and Greg stuffing ace jack suited in the big blind. I think
Mac.
it's probably going to get through.
What'd Mac open to?
Well, must have been 225.
Yeah. Kind of forced to fold here with Jack 9.
But see, isn't that four and a half?
It's
Four and a half
it's
big blinds.
Big sizing.
Yeah, I just.
Greg's been playing so tight. He's either going to shove or fold. I like a small raise if you're going to raise.
Yep. Mac makes a good fold here.
Paul Conklin says, how long will this air till completion? Yes, sir. We're going to play it down. It's going to end tonight. Once we get heads up, Johnny will have a giveaway in the form of a question, I assume, some kind of trivia.
Some kind of trivia. I actually have a question in mind.
Okay.
Again, that RFG STL seat will be given away here on Facebook when we hit heads up. And that will get you a seat into the RFG STL for a seat into our Mega Satellite, into our War Poker Tour main event.
All right, here comes Doc Johnny, here comes Doc with King Jack suited. Raise to 125 under the gun.
Okay, Mac with 2 aces. Let's see if he can squeeze some chips out of Doc.
Might get a call out of Eldon first with this Queen 10 suited with all those chips.
Eldon ain't going anywhere. Queen 10 suited. That may lead Mac to jam. I'd like to see a small raise though with such a monster hand.
He's got about what 26 big blinds
I
right
wouldn't
now.
mind making it like 325 and sucking them both in there.
Yeah, 4x, 5x.
Mac starting the hand with a little over $1 million if the graphics are correct. On the button, 2 red aces.
25 big blinds. Let's see if he can get some value here.
Interesting spot. Let's see what Mac does. I really like just a small raise. I don't want to go all in and scare anyone off. If something happens and they outflop my aces, I'm good with living with it.
I'm probably going to make this about 4x myself. I'm going to make it about 500,000 with an open and a flat.
500 is a little too much because you only have $1 million. That's so telling. You make it 500. I think that could easily get hands to fold. If you make it 300, 325, Doc's definitely not folding. And then Elding, if Doc calls, isn't folding. Then you just shove every flop.
What did he make it? Let's
Six
see.
over 6, I think.
Yeah, you might as well shove if you're going to put
Yeah.
in 6.
Yeah, exactly. Mac 3 bets to 650.
Guy's got deuces, never calling here. Yeah, you know, sometimes you don't even mind the shove with aces because you want them to think it might be ace king,
Right.
And which is the way a lot of people play ace king. So the
Yeah,
small
this
raise,
looks super strong. He's put in over 60% of his chips. There's no way he's going to be folding if someone were to go all in.
Yeah, you might as well put it all in. And you're right. You can't make it too small to entice them in there. Both of them, you know, all the equity drains out of those aces, right? You get a heads up, you're 82. You get it against 2 people, you're about 65. So you can't make it too small to bring them both along. And you know,
Well, so that's why
Doc's coming.
I disagree completely. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to make it small enough where they both come along and have one of them flop top pair.
Well,
That's it. And then that's how you win.
I would have to agree, like a stop and go.
That's how you're
method
going to
here with
win
aces.
this tournament, not just ladder it up.
That's an aggressive play. And if the flop cooperates, you love it. If the flop doesn't cooperate, somebody makes 2 pair on you.
I mean, good, they can have it.
Yeah.
They can have it if that's the case. I'm not turning the aces into a bluff pre-flop and just I want people to fold because I could get out flopped. I want them to put some more money in.
Yeah, no, I want them to put some money in too, but I don't want to give them such a good price that they're calling with. I don't want to give them too good of a price, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'll give them the best price when I got 2 aces. I'll take my odds. I'll take the 85 heads up and I'll take the 65 three-way.
You're right. They're never folding top pair if they flop it.
Right. You
So
just
you get the rest of it in
you
then.
more than double up, way more than you bust. Way more. Even if they do flop top pair, aces can hit out. Counterfeit.
Whoa, Doc getting in there with 9-5 diamonds.
Tell me about your aces that you got cracked with today. Wasn't it similar?
I knew it was going to come up.
Set of
I knew
sevens
that-
for
I knew that
Mac.
was going to come up.
All right, Mac. Here's Mac. This is what Mac's been waiting on here. But unfortunately, nobody has much. Glenn's going to make a C-bet here with his gut shot. See what Mac does here.
Come on, Mac, just call it. This a very uncoordinated board,
Yeah.
multi-way.
Yeah, I like flatting here. Not afraid of any turn card. Obviously, you know a jack would be terrible, but in the moment, you don't care.
Yeah, here comes the call. Or not.
Well, no.
Looks like he's going to raise it up.
He's hoping he has an ace. But, you know, you're right. If he's got an ace, he's probably going to put the rest of it in for you on a later street.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just these hands where you can get value. You got to get value. You got to go ahead and win this thing. You got to get a lot of chips.
Yeah.
You
easy
can't keep
call.
on depending on just making these monster hands. When you get them, you got to get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, as the cards lay, probably not going to get any more money in the pot anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. I think I call there, and then if you call, maybe Doc calls with some sort of a gut shot.
Sometimes
or
you
whatever.
call and Doc can make a move and raise.
Yeah.
You know, but you raising can let Doc just completely play his hand perfectly.
Yep.
So one of the main reasons to watch these live streams is to find these holes in your game. So again, we're seeing a lot of missed values in a lot of these hands. So I hope Matt can rewatch the stream, and hopefully he will benefit from it.
Oh yeah, Mac's definitely a student of the game. I know he's always working on getting better. Very humble guy too, willing to accept any advice shot his way. So I expect for him to improve and for us to see him at plenty of these final tables in the future. And he's not out of it. He could still take this one down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's going to that hand helps him recover from that ace king hand.
Absolutely. The hands we're talking about, he actually won both hands. We're nitpicking that we're saying maybe he didn't win enough, but he's still moving up the chart here.
He's still sick to his stomach about that ace king fold
Yeah,
earlier. That would have
abs-
given him a massive chip lead, and then he
Absolutely.
can play a little bit of a different game. Now he's having to be a little careful, but that set, he's chipped up right there. So we'll see. Like I said, we still got a couple of deep stacks here where there's some poker to be played. We got a couple of short stacks in there, I believe. There we go. Johnny on the spot, as usual. Brian with 11 big blinds, Greg with 20, and then the other 4 have some play. So this is a really good spot for Eldon to start opening some pots, but he's been pretty solid. I don't know if he's going to get out of his normal range.
Yeah, he
of
might
hands.
might let Doc continue to try to take the reins and him just sit back and flop sets. Joe Parisi says, good job with the stream. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, Joe. Joe and his son, Chris, both joining the stream. Thanks for watching, guys.
Look at
Just a
this.
reminder, guys, another interesting event that we have during our World Poker Tour series is the 1010 XL main event. Event number 13 of our World Poker Tour series with a $350 buy-in. And just like always, when we run our 1010 XL main event, or 1010 XL event annually, we will have that live streamed. And we'll have some bounties in the field. And Chris Parisi is actually going to be a bounty for that event as well.
There you go. Joe Parisi's son. Come on down and bust Chris. He's a local race car driver, sponsored by Best Bet. Also a local poker player in the room. See him all the time. Good guy. I've known Chris for years. I'd still like to bust him and get that bounty, though.
That's right.
How much is the bounty, Johnny? Is it $2,500?
No. Unfortunately, no, but it'll be $110.
Oh,
I like 2,500 a little better.
I'm thinking about the main event bounties, I guess. Aren't they $2,500?
Looks like Brian is he all in here? Yeah, Brian's all in. 575,000. About 11 big blinds. Ace 3 suited seems pretty standard.
Yep, no problem with this shove at all. Probably going to get through. Mac folding the ace 4 offsuit.
Yeah, there you go. Shove the ace 3, get the ace 4 offsuit to fold.
And every now and then, you know, you'll see people calling with the ace 4 there for 11 big blinds. A lot of, even though
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not ahead of much.
You get some guys that are going to look you up.
In the hand before, while Johnny was talking about some of the promotions and some of the other tournaments, we saw Eldon in the big blind with 6-3 offsuit, and the 2-seat completed with 10-7 offsuit, and the board ran out all big cards, and it just checked all the way down. The 10 high one
Took it down.
that'd have been a spot. Whereas the chip leader, even with 6 high, let's squeeze a bet out there with that scary board, see if we can't get the small blind to fold, and he didn't take advantage of that
Yeah, I tell you what,
opportunity.
if I'm six-handed with massive chip lead over right around 4 million, and no one's got 2, I'm not checking down any 6 highs.
No, that's my point. You're not winning 6 high, so you almost played the board and I got a chop out of it. So here's Doc raising the ace queen offsuit. Greg with the ace 9 in the big blind. He knows that Doc's been opening a lot of pots. Although this is almost 20 big blinds, I don't expect him to shove here, but
Wow, gets away from it.
yeah.
Big laydown correctly. Ace 9 in the big blind. Probably playing a little too tight, but really gets rewarded with it there.
Was it 225 that Doc opened to? Was that 4.5 big blinds? Did I see that correctly?
A little over 4x, 4.25. Kristen, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Another great best bet dealer joining us here. Ryan North, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining.
Here's Eldon, ace 7 offsuit. As a chip leader, here's a good example of a hand you can open probably with your stack and your position that maybe you wouldn't in another spot, especially if you were shorter.
Absolutely. These are the hands that Eldon can take advantage of the rest of the table.
Thank you.
Having to play rather snug, especially against his big stack, because he can knock anyone out.
And you see he's opening the 2.5 big blinds, which is a good size. You can even open smaller than that. It's going to get through, and that's why we do it, right?
Yeah, it's going to take it down. Best hand.
Especially when there's a small stack there with 11 big blinds. You know, these medium stacks really don't want to get involved with you as a chip leader.
Right, that's the advantage. Really, no one wants to play with the chip leader. If you're second in chips, you don't want to get into a big pot with the chip leader. And if you're last in chips, you're trying to wait out the guy who has, the next lowest amount. So really big advantage to chip leaders. That's why you see guys when they do pull away and put on the aggression, it really tends to work out well for them.
There's Glenn folding ace-4 suited under the gun. Didn't see his chip stack, but that's one probably going to open it shorthanded.
Jonathan Cronin says, always a pleasure, Eddie, both listening to your commentary and playing across the table. I appreciate that, Jonathan. Jonathan is a WPT deep stack winner, main event winner here, former. He had a good amount of chips when I busted in 30th earlier today. Actually, when I was driving in, I figured he'd be one of the players I saw at the final table. Actually was kind of surprised by the players that did make it out of the final 30 that were left. Cronin, always a pleasure playing with you as well, sir. Best of luck always.
Yep.
We'll get him next week.
He's a solid player, makes a lot of deep runs in these events. Bump into him in Vegas sometimes in the summer.
Oh yeah, Jonathan's definitely a solid player, always working on his game, improving. You don't want him to show up at your table with a bunch of chips. He did that today. And I wasn't able to get any chips from him.
All right, that was a shove there that got through.
All right, guys, we are going to be taking a tournament break for about 15 minutes. So, again, guys, please stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to you here in about 15 minutes.
We have always been a top-notch poker operation. We actually are the top producing poker room in the state of Florida. We have added new poker games, our Florida poker games. We have a whole section, we've got 18 tables. We now spread 3-card poker, 2-card poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 1-card poker, and Pai-Gow poker. We have promotions every single day for our players. We give away hundreds of thousands of dollars in high hands. It's a great experience and it attracts a whole different set of customers. Our simulcast is a great race book. It's probably the best one in the state. We fashioned this after a Las Vegas sports book. The difference is we can only bet on the horses and on the dogs and on highlight. And we carry the races from all over the country. Our sushi is undoubtedly the best in the state, and I will say maybe even on the East Coast. Our sushi chef actually learned sushi in Japan. He is unbelievable, Miro, and his team, they are very dedicated and they're just amazing. We have the freshest product. You can't believe that you can get such good sushi in Jacksonville, Florida. We love having the World Poker Tour here. It creates so much excitement, and the $1 million prize pool, the guarantee, that's a big deal here. Our players travel from all over. All of the excitement and energy that comes with this production. This is our flagship production each year. What sets us apart is our team. We have years of experience between us. We concentrate on guest services. We concentrate on consistency. We value our players. Our people care about their jobs, and we are very particular that we do things the correct way.
Play fun, exciting poker at clubwpt.com today.
Allie, we've got a fun event going on tonight. Tell me about this promotion.
Yeah, so this is a great opportunity for somebody to win a satellite seat into the $5,000 buy-in main event. What we do is we give 6 people, 6 lucky winners, the opportunity to play with the Royal Flush crew. It's a great way for them to get in for absolutely nothing.
bit about how exactly you won your seat here.
Well, I answered the question right for Facebook that Mike Sexton was the 2009 inductee into the World Series Hall of Fame and Hannah Bounty here today. A day later, I got the ding on Facebook that said, "You win."
Okay, I've got Johnny Cash here. Real name?
Johnny Cash, all my life.
Ooh. Tell me about your journey getting your seat at this bounty tournament.
Well, I called the radio show and I got in, so it was quite a challenge, but I made it.
I'm pretty stoked. I can't wait. Been waiting a couple of weeks. Been holding this ticket for a while. So, ready.
Have you ever played in a WPT main event before?
A few of them. So, I've cashed a few. So, that's it.
I'm a local player here, so it would be very fun and interesting to take on some of the professionals and see where my skill level lies with them.
Play fun, exciting poker at clubwpt.com today.
I'm so happy. And I just
We're back. Back from break. First hand back. Brian dealt ace king of diamonds on the button. He's going to jam it all in. I think we must be at 60K now. Glenn's going to call him from the big blind with ace jack of clubs.
All right, Brian's in good shape here. See if he can hold. One club for the back doors. Oh no, two clubs for the back doors. And there it is.
Oh,
runner,
like
runner.
A runner, runner, bad
Back
news
door.
for Brian.
That's what I'm saying.
Sixth place for Brian. That's going to be $5,901. Brian, I thought Brian played really well.
He did.
Really just got unlucky right there. He wins that pot. He gets back up over $1 million.
You know, that's all you can really do when you're short. Pick a good spot, get your money in good, and
Hope for the best. Yeah.
when it's your turn, it's your turn. And unfortunately for Brian, it wasn't his turn tonight. But good showing. Sure we'll see him again on a final table soon.
We definitely will.
Y'all the chopper type? Y'all the chopper type, huh? Y'all the chopper type guys? Y'all don't like the chopper.
Mac asking about a chop.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Doc says maybe we'll talk about it later.
What do you think?
Yeah, if I'm one of the chip leaders, I'm probably wanting to talk about it later myself.
That's it. Give me 30. We can be done with this thing.
Just put the money together. Put them together, the 5, and divide by 5.
Oh, wow, they're talking about an even chop. Did you hear that? Put it together and divide by 5, or maybe that's just a start.
If I'm Greg,
That's the starting negotiation.
Feeling pretty good about that. Yeah, I don't know if Doc or Eldon for that matter, Eldon with all them chips, he may not go for an even chop. Of course, I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, we have. Especially with some players that are sometimes fairly inexperienced at the late stages of a tournament. You never really know what's going to happen.
Better at doing it than I am.
Gotta learn somehow, right? I'll win here multiple times.
Five left here, playing for 38,000. Looks like Doc's got the iPhone out, looking at the calculator. Definitely taking a look at the numbers here.
Yeah, it's getting to that stage where sometimes some deals are made. Sometimes good deals and sometimes bad deals, so we'll see.
Well, everyone gets a good deal. And if someone's getting a good one, someone's probably getting a bad one.
True. Spoken like a man who's probably gotten some good deals before.
I feel like I've held my own in that department.
Well, sometimes you see them, chop it 5 ways for a certain portion and then play out the balance for the rest in the trophy. You see that sometimes.
Yeah, that's the great thing. Really, best bet will just let you do whatever you want. You want to give everybody a certain amount and play it out for something, go ahead. If you want to end it right now, they can. They're they're willing to appease whatever all the players can agree to. Tell you what, one of the advantages really to playing a best bet is the chops that they will
Divided by 5 now,
let you get away with.
18,445.
I don't know if you all could hear that, but Doc says divide by 5 now. It's 18,000.
A little more than 18,000 everyone would get if they chopped it evenly.
Which is really between second and third place money. If you start talking about even chops, that's a great deal for everybody on the table except for maybe Eldon.
Yeah, except for the chip leader who's, I would say nearly guaranteed top 3 at this point. Without avoiding something catastrophic.
And he's played fairly.
So if he's guaranteed 14,000, guaranteed-ish 14,000, I wouldn't be making a deal for 18, but money talks. Like we've seen, these not all these guys even have Hindenmob stats in the database, so I'm certain this would be at least a few of these guys' biggest score ever, maybe all except for Doc.
Yeah, absolutely. We did some work earlier, and Mac's biggest cash was 6,000. So that'd be 3 times his biggest score. Greg, his biggest one was 5,000.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean for me, because it can
Brian's gone. James is gone. Will's gone.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
yeah,
and
no one-
and two, the 3-seat Glenn and the 5-seat Eldon, we didn't see their name in the database at all. So
Yeah, so in theory, none of these guys have even a 10K score. Now they're looking down the barrel of an 18K chop. Maria Conklin on Facebook says, "I'd take the deal." A lot of people would, Maria. If I was Eldon, I'd be asking for a little more. Maybe you guys get 15K. Give me some more money.
there's plenty of apps out there that do the ICM chip chop for you and tell you what your stack should be worth, but that assumes all the skill levels even, and
That's right.
and it ignores future play. So if you think you have an edge over the field, you really shouldn't even take your ICM amount that pops up. If you feel like that you don't have an edge, then you should jump at the chance to get your ICM chip amount.
Yeah, I agree. If you feel you have a skill edge and you're the best player at the table, I would say taking an ICM chop would be a mistake. And in contrast, if you find yourself at the bottom tier of the players at the table and you can get an ICM chop, I think you're doing well. Of course, when you're at the table, everyone likes to think they have the edge and that they're the favorite.
Well, of course.
Hard to convince anyone otherwise.
Everybody in the room is above average.
Just ask them.
In their own mind, or else you wouldn't be here, right?
In theory.
That's true. Some people come just for entertainment and to have fun with their friends.
Yeah, some will let you know that they're not above average.
Eat the sushi. A lot of reasons to come down here. Winning money is just a bonus.
Mac's going to take a stab at this pot. 220K off a 1.2 million stack with queen high. Greg looks him up with threes, gut shot. Eldon with a gut shot of his own, thinking if maybe he should be able to peel one here.
He's got a lot of chips, but I'm not sure he's going. Well, he's reaching for them.
Yeah, I'd like a raise right here if I were Eldon. Blocker to the nuts and a gut shot. Ace on the river, not hitting anyone. Greg, pocket threes are the best hand. Can Mac throw one more bullet?
Nope.
It's going to check it over. Eldon, king high on the river.
Can he make the bluff at it?
He's grabbing chips. This is a great card for him to bet.
Yeah, he did open from the button. He's got a lot of aces in his range. Easy fold for Mac. Not such an easy fold for Greg, but he's got a short stack here, so he's probably going to let it go too.
Don't know how he's going to continue here with just 2 threes.
Really good
Small
card.
sizing looks enticing, but it's so much of Greg's stack.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now, counting it out and see what he have left if he makes this call. And the answer is not much.
Yeah, if you got 1.4, 1.5 million, maybe you can look this up. When you're sitting there with 800,000 and it's 350K to call, that's a steep price. Yeah, he's going to lay it down. Well played by Eldon.
Yeah, very nice play. Recognizing that ace is good for his range and probably not as good for the blinds. And takes it down. Even though we thought he probably should have folded on the turn, he takes it on the river.
What?
I'm good with getting 15,000.
Now they're back to talking about the chop.
Max said he's good with taking 15,000 right here.
For the chip leader. I mean, I'm just waiting for.
Max should have offered Eldon his 3,000.
If I was him, I wouldn't.
Give him 21. The others get 18, and Mac get 15.
That's what he just said.
Yeah.
He's willing to give you some off mine and make a deal. I think Mac recognizes that he's getting short.
Yeah, and
If
he's
he can
trying
get, If he can get close to a even shop out of this, it's a good deal for Mac.
Right now, 5 left. He's guaranteed 6,744. He can more than double that. If he could somehow get a deal where he gets 15,000. A little better than third place money.
If you do 18 apiece minus the $2 grand, then you're $2 grand apiece, and the rest of the time you give it to him. I mean, now you're talking extra $8 grand, because you're getting $2 grand off.
There's some significant negotiation going on down there.
Yeah, they're talking about it.
I don't want to pressure him.
Eldon's not saying much, just counting his chips. All 4 million of them, 4.7.
So just tell me what the dollar amount would be.
So it'd be 16 apiece.
He says you just tell me.
Plus the 8.
Right, we all get 16
And you 18 plus the 8, so you get 24.
I get 24.
Right now they're discussing everyone getting 16,000 and Eldon getting 24,000.
26. Isn't it 26? 18 plus 8 is 26.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he's agreed.
Excuse me, 26. Doesn't look like everyone's agreed to that.
He's agreeable that I would bowl 6.
Glenn is the holdout.
18 apiece, you said.
It's what it is.
And how much more does he get then?
No, if we divide equally, it's 18 apiece plus 2,500 with the club. That's if you die even. But now he is more chips than anybody else.
Right.
So
we're looking to give him an extra 1.
Interesting insight here into
yeah, but we have to be
how these deals are done.
proportional to some extent because he has almost 1,500, 2,200. So I think we have maybe almost the same. You know.
Here, Doc leading the negotiations. Doc's been in this spot a few times, so he knows how it goes.
Well, it doesn't look like they can have came to any conclusion, and they're going to keep dealing the cards.
If he wants to, that's
You fine with it if he wants to?
18 apiece. And
There he goes. This might be it.
Because I thought it was originally 18 across the board for everybody. And then you got, if we're talking about him himself, 16 apiece, and then him getting 26.
I heard 16 apiece with the chip leader getting 26, which is a little better than second place.
So somebody will be getting less, somebody will be getting more.
We're getting close to it.
Proportionally would be a little bit more. You'll be sacrificing a little bit for the high hands. You know, like.
We have some stacks here. Eldon has 4.7, right?
Yep. We're at.
More if we take 2 off our top.
And Mac has 1 and 2.
16, so that'd be 8 grand plus his 18 is 175.
Let's see the stacks. Greg has 800.
Doc get extra 2,000.
Greg desperately needs a deal here. He wants something done.
Yeah. Doc has 2 million. Plug it in here. Handy dandy. Glenn has a 2-4.
Yep. All right, Kelly's punching in the ICM calculator.
If I can get any signal in here in the bomb shelter.
That's right. May have issues with that.
Oh, there it
Here we
goes. Looks like they were pretty close. ICM says
Looks like Eldon,
26.6 for Eldon is a fair number.
Eldon's equity is 26,000, almost 27. And they're offering them right about 26.
And the rest of them 14 or 15, 12, 18, and 20 based on the chip counts at the moment.
Yeah, Mac and Glenn would really be getting the best of it here, as Glenn has only 12,000 in equity, and they're talking about getting 16,000. Excuse me, Greg, not Glenn.
You're getting me confused over it. There's that much money?
Originally, everybody said it was 8. Everybody said it was 18.
I haven't done the math at all. So
Doc said it's 18 apiece, right?
You know, 18 apiece if we are equal, but it's not right because he got the chip.
I feel like I should
leader.
walk out there with this calculator and give it to him and cut this short, but I don't want to get involved.
Tell you what, we're on a 15-minute delay, but they may still be talking about it in 15 minutes.
They may be.
So we cannot be only 1,000 different. Cannot be 1,000 different.
Okay, well, that's
You know,
fine.
yeah. But we have to make a formula. I can do a formula for you if you like. What is that, sir?
Yeah,
I'm gonna raise. Make it 225.
In the midst of negotiations, Doc's going to raise the ace deuce on the button. These are spots whenever people are talking chops, I like to kind of go for it too. Everyone's going to be playing a little tighter because they're trying to keep what chips they do have in front of them. You don't want to lose a pot or get bust right when everyone's talking about chopping it up. Doc flops an ace. Eldon, the big blind, defends with Jack-7 suited.
There's C-bet will win.
C-bet and take it.
Yep. Now his ICM just went up a little.
That's right.
Now I just heard Max ask about an ICM chop.
I think they're going to look into the numbers. Best bet will
16.
often accommodate
If you're
this.
willing to get it even. If you're willing
Could be where Johnny's at right now.
Could be.
I am.
So live with it. So,
He's calling Gus to see.
Oh,
Go
Gus,
ahead,
okay.
go ahead, go ahead. Keep going, Doc. So what are you saying?
okay, 16, 16.
Things are going to change.
Let me give me a minute.
All right, Doc's going to figure it out.
Doc probably has an idea what the ICM number is, I would think.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and how to, if not, he knows how to go about it, getting it. Haven't mentioned this tonight because Doc's such a poker presence, but he's also a dentist in town. 2 local dental practices. So when he's not check raising and opening 7 deuce, he's
filling cavities,
cleaning people's teeth. Yeah.
I don't want to. Really, because I mean, one battle of them, so I'm not going to take a huge short.
Here's Doc just limping the cutoff with ace-7. I think I'd like to see a raise there, wouldn't you?
Interesting strategy after opening the ace deuce on the button. Now he limps ace-7 in the cutoff.
He's going to let Eldon see a flop here cheaply with queen-7, a spot that he may have laid down before. Even in this case, he's dominated.
Yeah, you gotta assume he would have got this one through with Mac having 7 deuce in the big.
Now Mac's got 7 deuce suited. You just never know.
Mac don't want to lose a chip because he's about to get a chop worth 16,000.
There's the 7.
Everyone's got a 7 and everyone flops a 7.
What are the odds of that? Case 7.
Doc way ahead with his ace-7. Looks like they're going to play out this hand and then stop the clock.
Doc makes a C-bet with the bottom pair. Small 100,000. Eldon's going to look him up. Not knowing he's in about as shape as he is.
Yeah, Mac folds the worst 7. Heads up. This is probably checked down a lot at this point. They know they're going to talk about the chop right after this hand.
They are the 2 chip leaders.
Right. Doc was hoping not to.
Oh, no. There's Mac's deuce popped off there on the turn.
Oh.
Mac's timing's just been off slightly.
What happens with the satellite seat if they chop? Well, Christopher, there isn't a satellite seat given away in this one. So there is no, the 5K seat giveaway is in the 50K, which will start tomorrow. But when that happens, someone's got to sign for first. So whoever signs for first, it's usually the guy who has the most chips or got the best of the deal. So whoever signs for first will get the 5K seat. Again, there's not one in this particular tournament. That starts tomorrow in the 50K. All right, looks like they've stopped the clock and they're crunching the numbers.
All right.
I feel like they're going to get to some kind of conclusion here. I don't think they want to play this out.
Sounds like it. I heard Doc say he had 2,000,006.
You know, we can just jump on this. Look at the figures. We proportional.
If the numbers are right.
Yeah. We want to be sure you're happy. He's happy because, I mean, the chip leader would have the first talk because he's the chip leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And you know, me and this guy, I'm the second chip lead, I think. And he's the third.
Very close.
I am 2.6. How much you have there?
See if I can do this along with them. 2-6. 1-1 and 2-1.
You got slightly more.
Bob Zimmer on the Facebook chat saying it seems like this is some form of collusion. Everyone has to agree to what happens here. This is a common practice all over the country. tournament directors allowing players to make deals and chop it at the end. There's no collusion. Everyone has to agree. If one person says no, then it ain't going to happen.
About the same, 2-5, 2-6.
A lot of times people are they think the blinds get a little high and the skill goes out the window, so they kind of want to avoid having to get lucky or get unlucky, and they make a deal. It's commonly done. No collusion involved.
Yeah, you actually see deals made on some of the biggest tournaments you see on TV. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah, they'll have the high rollers here, big 25, 50K high rollers do a buy-in to deals have been made.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just something you don't see too much on the televised poker shows because it's I don't think it's allowed in the World Series and maybe a couple other bigger ones, but definitely these smaller buy-ins and smaller series.
It's not officially allowed. That doesn't mean they don't make them off camera.
Absolutely.
We just have to hope the guys you make the deal with honor their end of the deal. The room is not going to enforce it.
Right. We've heard plenty of stories of people making secret deals off the table and just basically trusting the other player to pay up afterwards.
That's where I'm at right now. Without getting extra, I can wait out.
No, you need to have to get extra.
That's why I have to get extra. I can't charge. I don't have.
Oh, he's definitely getting extra.
Understand. Well, every once in a while, especially when you're in the smaller tournaments and the blinds are just so high. Shit. But here, it's small enough that I can wait out.
We don't have the current chip stack, and Johnny's not here, so he might be out there working on it right now.
What are you doing? You're not even playing anymore. You're just playing.
Yeah, Johnny's back. Are they out there trying to chop?
All right, guys. Sorry that took so long, but doing ICM, doing the long math, took a little bit. But yeah, we did decide to chop it up. However, they are going to be playing for the trophy.
Okay.
So I don't know how much time we have in between. But thanks, guys, for joining us. Sorry for that long intro. But what do you want to do? You want to take a little break, or do you want to do? What do you want to do?
You tell us. How long is the break?
They just figure it right then, right when you walk.
Yeah, we just figured out. So right when I walked back in, they agreed to the chop. So I mean, do you guys want to talk about it? So the ICM, this is what I came out to. So Doc took a straight $20,000.
All right.
The 7 seat, the 8 and 7 between
Mac and Greg.
Yeah, Mac and Greg took 13,500.
Yep.
Our chip leader took 26,000.
Yep.
And then our 2 seat took the remainder of $19,226.
Then 15, but it's not.
This is straight ICM. So guys, the way you work out ICM is that you have to take each player's chip count, and then you have to add up the total chip value, which gives a percentage of what everybody has as far as chip value. And then what the total prize pool is left, what nobody really understands is that you have to take out min cash out first. So to make sure that nobody is going to be making less than a min cash if they were to chop. So min cash was, I believe, $6,744 times 5. So that was taken out. And then the remainder of the prize pool was multiplied by their percentage of their chip count and then added back their min cash. So that was the equated amount for a straight ICM.
You're doing it longhand, I see.
Longhand.
Do you have the chip counts?
Yes, I do. Let me get that one for you 1 second. Actually, you know what? We have it right here. Duh. So that was their current chip stacks.
Let's see here. So Eldon had 4.4. And Doc had 2.6.
Glenn 2.3.
Glenn really almost 2.4.
Yeah, Mac 1.1.
Mac 1.1 and 800. All right. So I'm just curious, Johnny. I have a little app on my phone that does it. I'm just going to be curious to see how close it got to yours. I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, mine is pretty much I think the purest the way it can go, like long multiplication, long division.
Yeah, I trust you completely. Just curious to see if the app that I have is the same. So,
excuse me, Joe DeCero, thanks for joining the chat. Right now we are discussing Chop. They've actually have figured it out live here, but they are going to be playing it out for the trophy. Looks like Doc's going to get 20,000. Mac and Greg, the two short stacks, are going to get 13.5 thousand. Eldon, our chip leader, is going to take home the lion's share, 26,000. And Glenn's going to get 19,000.
So, Johnny, did they any money with the trophy or just the trophy?
No, looks like they're just going to play it out. They didn't save any money for first place, so straight gentleman's agreement. They're going to decide what they got is what they're going to get, and they're just going to play for the glory of the trophy.
Playing for the hardware.
Okay, so as I suspected, the app that I have on my phone is exceptionally close to what Johnny came out with. Greg maybe did slightly better at the 13.5, but he was the short stack, and a lot of times that's reasonable for the short stack to do better than ICM, because we said all it takes is one double and his equity goes way up. So my numbers are close. Mine are 26, 20, 20, 13, 8, and
so the ICM that I did was straight up, and then what they agreed on was adjusting that ICM just so that
slightly,
main cash would take a little more money.
Yep. Okay. Good.
So that's what my numbers were. Where you're saying, and then after the adjusted division of the prize pool is what what these players kind of gave up. So first place gave up about $3,000. I think Doc gave away a little bit of change.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad they worked it out, and I think everybody got a fair deal there.
Yeah, it's rather fair. I think the short stack gets the best of it in this Chop, but not to the amount where he really got away with anything. Just like you said, a lot of times you give the short stack.
So again, looking at the prize pool now, so first place as per the Chop is going to get $26,000. Second place, $20,000. Third place, $19,226. Fourth place is going to receive $13,500, and fifth place again, $13,500.
Well, now they're on a break, and since they've done a Chop, and now they're just playing for the trophy, and I'm leaving for the airport at 6:30 in the morning. I think I'm going to leave it with you, Eddie.
Oh, you're a real nice guy there.
I've enjoyed doing it, and I hope I can get to do it again. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Kelly Slay, for coming in and commentating with us during our World Poker Tour series. Hopefully we'll see him more so during our commentating of a lot of our live stream events going forward. Our next live stream will be that $200 buy-in, event number 5 of our World Poker Tour series with a $50,000 guaranteed prize pool, $1,000 added to $5,000 added to first place in the form of a World Poker Tour main event seat. Guys, again, this is our World Poker Tour. Lots of preliminary events to play and lots of giveaways, lots of promotions. I do invite you all, if you guys play poker here in Florida, over in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, even South Florida, to come on into World Poker Tour Best Bet here in Jacksonville. So many events for you all to play in. And I want to thank you all for bearing with us and joining us here at the Best Bet Live. Again, myself, I'm the tournament director and Best Bet live stream producer, Johnny Fantastic, and still joining with me is Eddie Maraskowski. Going to be finishing out this live stream. So again, guys, thank you all for joining us. We are going to take a short break just for you all. I know there's a couple of minutes left before play resumes, and I'm going to leave you guys with some music and be right back. All right, thank you, Kelly.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season. Seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You came into my life just like another season. Not for long, just a time, just like another season. Maybe this time next year you'll reappear for no reason, but I'll cherish every day until you come my way this season.
What would be the balance for these two? From
All right, guys, catching up to the delay. Again, these players have made a deal. We're just finalizing the deal for this tournament. We have 5 players left.
for him.
Roughly 92,000 left in the prize pool, so they've agreed that Doc is going to receive 20K. The guy in the 2C is going to receive 19,000 and change. Our chip leader, 39% of the chips, will receive 26,000, and then Mac and Glenn are going to receive 13,500 each.
For us, he'll get 26,000.
He takes 26, or T5 for T5, between you two,
Okay.
$39,226.
So how much?
39,000? That's 19,000.
3,900. He made 3,900. You made 3,900.
No, Mac, you don't mean 3,900 for the next two to
I am
jump
a little
out.
big, 39. I can get 20,000. He can get 19 something proportionally.
So if you took 20,000,
I don't mind giving some from me, and he will. He's always anyway was getting 19 something, right? Correct. You're still getting the same money. There's no change for you.
If it's not, yeah, 1975 and it's 39.5. Equal 1975, he's 20. Both of you at 1975, that's what you're talking
No, I'm up by 1 point something. So it'll be 20 and 19 would be perfect.
Whatever you guys want to do. I'm
No,
just saying, half of that would be 1975.
So what do you think about this deal, Eddie?
Is good for you?
Well, I think.
That'll do.
Okay.
So again, here's our chip
Greg,
counts.
Yeah, I think Greg gets the best of it. He, at 13 bigs,
Good? Are you good with that?
staring at 5th place of 6,700. He ends up getting 13.5, which I think that's the best deal made. And everything else is kind of fair. Doc.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, Doc gave a little bit. Our chip leader, Eldon, gave up about 3K.
Okay, now we're gonna play for the trophy with no fear.
What does this mean now?
And so there's no save with the money. They're just going to play down for the trophy.
Yeah, this is just playing for the hardware. I don't expect this to take too long,
You don't want to play,
as
you
there's
can go.
nothing on the line.
But we have a trophy to play
I would have liked a save. I would have liked some sort of save.
Yeah, agreed. For the fans, I mean, play for something.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything?
I could win it all. Or you could win it all, and you still gotta
But I think the two short stacks get the best end of the deal. It's debatable whether this is something I would do if I was the chip leader at this point. Maybe I'd wait for a couple people to bust. And
I would have waited
a
for
little
one more
yeah.
to bust.
But, you know, still taking home 26,000 when first was 38. Still pretty sweet. Second place was 23, so you're getting more than second place money. No, I don't think anyone's upset with this deal.
Well, I just want to take a picture of it. Well, I can let you take a picture with it.
Doc does it again.
We'll make you take a picture, no problem.
Doc essentially taking second place money in this World Poker Tour event number 1. Slightly above third place at $19,225. First place for tonight is going to receive $26,000, which is going to be our chip leader at the moment, Eldon.
Yep, Eldon, you're looking at him. Just won 26,000.
Now you play with no fear.
Now he's going after the trophy.
So this is a little different play now for most final tables that you see live stream. They're only going to be playing for the trophy. They've already chopped up all the money. No saves made. Now they're just playing for poker glory.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not even going to go into analyzing too much of the hands. But I will say this: since there's only one prize, and that's first, which is the trophy, they should really be
jamming it up.
Really be wide open here, because you have to win. You have to get all the chips. It's going to be hard to nickel and dime your way to first place. You're going to need to double up. You're going to need to get in some big spots.
So again, guys, I mean, part of poker really is about these chops also. It's a big part of playing these final tables. So I'm glad to broadcast it as far as these live streams final tables do chop, and we do allow it. I would hate to play in any event where chops are not allowed. It's just for the greater good of poker, because there's so much variance in playing these events that you want to lock up as much money as you can, because you know, most of these guys aren't just in for one buy-in, or maybe even like multiple buy-ins for the whole series. So they have to make their money.
That's right.
They have to pay the bills.
Yeah, these guys are playing poker to make money. So I mean, if you can find a good deal, or what you think is a good deal, you know, you make it. You don't. I'm fine with it. I actually think it's pretty interesting for the viewers to get a look-see, because there's no way you just don't see this. You don't see this in other tournaments unless you've been inside a chop. You really are never going to see a chop televised. So here you get kind of some insight into how it's done. You know, the negotiations, what all goes into it. It's interesting.
I'm just saying, you know, hypothetically, you know what I'm saying. I don't want you to get sensitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the sick pay jumps too are pretty sick also. You know, if they were to play it out, you know, next cash out would have been
fifth place was 6,700, and everyone got over 13,000. So, you know, two people would have definitely got less than 13,000. So, you know, like I said, everyone has to agree for it to work out. Everyone does. Everyone's happy.
You talk about how the game is.
You really can't.
And you want to be more knowledgeable too. You don't want to be at a final table and everybody's talking chop and you have no idea what's going on. So, you know, as far
as watching this chop could make you money at the next time you're at a final table chop.
Absolutely. You know, as a tournament director, we do facilitate chops, and we don't try to get in the way. I mean, the only time I would ever speak up as if there's something egregious that was happening with a player maybe getting taken advantage of, I would interject. But as far as divvying up the money, it is their players' money. They can do whatever they want with it. But know that if you have a good tournament director, that I am looking out for your interest.
And you ain't going to let nobody get railroaded.
Exactly.
I thought you were playing with no fear. Yeah, no fear.
Paul Corrigan says, "Good job, Uncle Gregory." It's Connor. Okay, so Connor watching his uncle take down 13,000. Nice job, Uncle Greg.
All right, guys, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and put these amounts in for the current payouts. Give me a second here.
I'll check it. Look good. Check it.
You guys are lucky I'm a gamer. I can type fast.
225 from the 1. 3, 4.
Okay. Mac with pocket nines. Doc opens the 2-3. This should be a shove for Mac. Not a shove. He's going to raise it, though.
My pocket juice is no good.
It's like we're playing at home now. It's like a home game.
Maria says everyone looks more relaxed now. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean,
they've accomplished what they came to do today. They came in here. There were 85 players left. Everyone wanted to get to the final 60. And these guys have managed to get down to the final 5 and make over $13,000 a man. Every one of these guys have had a good day.
And we got raised with ace king? Oh my god. That's 60 here?
Doc's going to limp in. Ace 5 of clubs.
So yes, the chip leader did give up about 13K, but he did make better than second place money. Second place currently was $23,098. So making 26K versus 38,000. To lock that up, you know, 5-handed, is still pretty huge.
Oh, big flop here. 4-4 deuce, 2 clubs. Greg flops trips. Mac flops a straight draw. And Doc flops
the world.
Gut shot, straight flush draw.
How are you feeling on this shit, guys?
Mac's going to go for it.
I have a 4.
Oh, wow.
So club to Bink will put Doc at a huge chip advantage.
No 5, no 8. No 3, no 5, no 8.
Boom,
Gets
7
there.
of clubs right on the turn for Doc. And he fades the full house, and he's going to knock out Mac and Greg, our 2 short stacks that just chopped for $13,500.
That's no fear. I told you guys no fear.
Well, no fear, Doc, because he just locked up 20K.
Yep, Doc a little closer to getting that trophy. Just like that, we're down to 3.
Drive safe.
Congratulations, Greg. Congratulations, Mac.
So we're going to have one big one.
Then there were 3.
And there were 3. Remember, guys, when we get to Heads Up Play, we are going to do that giveaway here on Facebook for the RFG STL satellite seat for the World Poker Tour main event. Actually, a World Poker Tour satellite seat for a chance to win a main event seat. So please stay tuned with us. Keep watching here on Facebook. We will give away a question on Facebook. Answer that correctly, and you've just locked up that RFG STL seat for a chance to play on our live stream table with the World Poker Tour crew. And actually, I'm quite jealous because some of the talent that plays on that table are the RFG STL girls. So the RFG Royal Flush girls, I think who's going to come by is Ivy and Janine. And they're always awesome to play with. Such a delight.
Guns333 in the Twitch chat says, with that chip lead, I would have never gone for that deal. They would have had to throw the trophy at me. One of the strangest chops I've seen in a while. Yeah, I agree. A lot of times, really, this may be one of the only times I've ever seen a tournament chopped and no money left to play for.
Actually, it happens quite often. I
Yeah.
don't think we've seen that on the stream before, but as far as
Especially 5 ways, though. Usually you don't get 5 people. Well, usually like a heads up, people will chop and play for the trophy, but just adds a whole different element when you're 5-handed and playing for nothing.
So Glenn falling king high into Doc's 5 high.
That's right. Doc, if you thought he was fearless before, certainly no fear at this point with his 20K already in his pocket.
So again, guys, next couple events for our World Poker Tour Series. Tomorrow's event number 5 fires off at 11 a.m. Flight number 1, and at 6 p.m. flight number 2. $200 buy-in, $50,000 guaranteed prize pool, 15K starting stack, 30-minute blind levels in day 1, 40-minute blind levels in day 2, and there's a 5K main event seat added to our champion of that event. Eddie, are you going to play that?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'll be here at noon. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
11. Starts at 11.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, I'll be here at noon. I need these guys to hurry up and finish this thing so I can go get some sleep.
I personally am okay coming into an event and missing at least 2 or 3 levels. It doesn't hurt me that much. I mean, I'm not trying to like always be there on time and to start the event, although I do like to. But because of the big blind ante and because nowadays the structures are so good out there that you can miss those first few levels.
Yeah, I agree. I rarely, maybe never register before the tournament. I'm always coming in. I mean, at the earliest, it's in the middle of level 1. Usually level 2, sometimes level 3 if the structure and the starting stack's real good. But I think there's arguments both ways. Some of my professional friends say, the earlier the better because you want to play with as many blinds as you can against the worst players. Because in theory, the worst players get knocked out first. So the earlier you're there, the more time you have to play with them. Which I agree with that. But also, like there's something to sitting there all day. If it's going to be a 12-hour day and you can knock off an hour and a half and kind of still be playing your A/B game late instead of your B/C game, that can become more valuable than getting there on time in the early levels. So, really to each his own, whichever kind of floats your boat.
And especially your bankroll too. If you're intending to try to do 1 bullet in the game, I would totally advise to come in early. But if you're willing to throw in 2 or 3 bullets, you're going to allow yourself a little wider play style.
Yeah, well, I think if you have 1 bullet, you might want to come in a little later, so you don't put yourself in a position where you want to fire the second. You come in early and bust. True. If you're there and you bust in the first hour of being there, you really just want to fire again. But if you come an hour and a half late and bust in an hour, then it's deeper in the registration. You don't get as many big blinds if you rebuy. And sometimes you just have obligations. You got to do something that you can't get there on time. You can show up late. All right, Doc's going to be the big blind. Ace 3 for Eldon, Ace 4 for Doc.
260 for Miguel.
All right, Eldon's going to call the raise. We're heads up. Queen, queen, deuce flop. Doc fires out 300,000. And Eldon calls. 10 of clubs here. It's going to have these players chopping at this point. Someone's going to have to fire a bet if they want to win. And it goes check, check. And they're going to chop this one up. Guns 3-3 says the guy who finished 5th made out the best on the deal. Completely agree. He had 12 big blinds, and
Neither one was very proud of that ace, were we?
had he busted 5th, he would have got 6,000 and ended up getting over 13,000 in his deal.
Or a club. You have a better shot with a club.
And then we see him actually flop trips and lose in one of the first few hands after the deal was made. So he's feeling real good about his decision at this point.
Check 3.
10-eye flop, top pair for Doc.
200,000.
Cut shot and a flush draw now for Glenn.
400.
And he whiffs it all.
Fold 3.
Glenn now down to 1.7 mil. It's going to be our short stack here.
Terrain Young, for that little plug, I think you're going to have to wash my car for free. Just because.
I'll save that if he washes the car.
My car does need a car wash.
Mine too, and it's black. He says he specializes in black cars. Come hit me up, Terrain.
Yeah, Terrain. You're just going to have to mobile your car wash deal too here at Best Bet, and you have to wash both Eddie's.
That's right.
And my car for that little plug there.
Yeah, come in, hand us a card, wash us up. I'll gladly say that name over the airwaves.
So again, Eddie, thank you for coming out, joining us here, commentating for a good amount of hours, taking time out of your day.
My pleasure.
Again, guys, Eddie Marscassi is a coach, a poker coach, so please hit him up on Facebook if you want any training skills.
Yeah, if you're looking to improve your tournament poker game, especially in the Jacksonville Best Bet area.
Oh, that's right, because you have the ins on all of our players.
That's right. That's why.
There you go. So if you're a Best Bet reg, especially in tournaments, you want the inside scoop on a lot of these tournament regs. Eddie has got the scoop.
Hit me up on Facebook.
3 clubs, 3 spades, 8 of spades. 3 of spades.
So guys, these I think our action tracker is trying to catch up here. There was a bit of a glitch, a little latency.
Even the RFI readers are it's getting late for the RFI readers. There we go.
Yeah, we are at the river, so this hand's going to get a little fouled up, guys. My apologies.
Small, insignificant pot. Eldon takes it down. We should have jumped up the blinds to 100K to really get this thing moving.
So anytime we get short and there's a chop, so we can't really change the blinds, but we can change the durations of
okay.
the
You can't
blinds.
change the actual structure.
Yeah, you can't change the actual structure, but if they want, they can play 10-minute blinds if they want to make it a bit of a turbo.
I like that idea. Little 5-minute levels.
Yeah. Well, we're going to change it to all on our fold. Double the blinds. No, I can already do that. Why is Lion yelling at us?
Oh, that's just how he talks.
Yeah, he just
never lowercase.
Cap locks everything.
Never lowercase. What you charge, Eddie? I need help with my game. Hit me up on Facebook, Lion.
Lion went pretty deep. Final 3 tables?
Yeah, he was. I busted 31st. Lion was still in, and he had some chips. I don't know where he finished.
I actually missed playing with Lion. I remember playing a lot of cash at Orange Park.
Oh,
back
yeah.
when I used to be able to play.
Yeah, he was a staple at the Orange Park 2-5 cash games. Also a staple at these tournaments over here. Plenty of final tables and wins under his belt.
Yeah, I think he won an HPT event a couple years back.
Oh, yeah.
He won I think a MSPT or WPT deep stacks with us.
Jack Rogers says he needs a lot of help. Lion got 15th in this tournament. Just missing the final table. He was another one on my way in. I figured I'd see. Should have known it was going to be Doc, though.
Doc, a very formidable player.
Yeah, blinds are 48.
You know, Doc plays it all too. He plays the dogs, plays cash, binks it all.
He plays all the poker games. He plays all the telecasting, high lie, dogs, anything he can bet on. He's an action junkie. Take your money, and if you got bad teeth, we'll fix them for you.
Again, guys, we are going to give away that RFG STL seat when we hit heads up play, and that should happen here pretty soon. To be able to play, you're going to have to tune into the Facebook. So if you're on Twitch or YouTube, jump on over to our Facebook site, watch the stream from there, and then you can go and participate in our giveaway. We're giving out a trivia question for you all. I do have one in mind.
Doc flops trips here, and Glenn is bluffing into him with king high. Doc's going to bet the river with his trips. Glenn's not going to be able to call. Now Glenn's severely short. Going to be down to less than 10 big blinds. Yeah, this is going to be Doc forcing the action. He's looks like Eldon has just been fine with sitting back, playing pretty snug, maybe waiting for heads up. Doc's been the one pressing the action, and luckily he's been the one hitting the flopsers and winning the hands. Or else this could have went on for a long time if Doc was playing tight. Looks like this one's going to be checked all the way down, and Glenn's going to win with his 4.
Holy cow. Beats me.
Also, guys, for more chances to win that RFG STL seat, tune in to our Best Bet Poker Show every Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Join myself, Jesse the Boss, and our host, Ali McDeal, on the 1010XL Best Bet Poker Show on the radio at 92.5 FM. Also live streamed here on Twitch and on Facebook every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Come check us out. You know, it's awesome working for Best Bet because although I'm super busy, I'm never bored. I always got something to do.
Yeah, you're workaholic. You're working when you're off.
Yeah. One of those guys that's actually married to his phone.
Glenn limps the button here with the king 4. Actually turns a 4. Doc bets 200,000. Glenn's going to call. Let's see if Doc tries to get him to fold it here on the river. Doc with a gut shot. Needs a 6 to make a straight. 10 or a 7 would improve. Queen's not of no help. Is he going to fire? Yep, he goes all in. Glenn has to fold it. Now Glenn's down to 400K-ish. Maybe a little more.
All right, guys, you want to bank an extra $2,500 in our main event? I just posted our bounty list. 30 bounties out in the field. From name them down. Here they are. It's going to be Allison Hollander, Anthony Zeno, Ari Engel, Bart Hansen, Byron Kaverman, Darren Elias, Ite, Frank Stepuchin, Jake Schwartz, James Caldwell, Jamie Kerstetter, Jessica Dolly, Joe Kim, John Reisner, Jonathan Little, Kelly Minkin, Kitty Kuo, Lena Evans, Lexi Sterner, Lonnie Harwood, Maria Ho, Marvin Rettenmeyer, Matt Affleck, Matt Glantz, Matt Savage, Mike Sexton, the great Doc Nabil Herezi, Paul Petralia, Ray Cortami, and Tyler Patterson. Just to name all of our players to be worth $2,500 if you bust them out in the main event.
I really like the group you get, Johnny. A bunch of different types of players, bunch of good players. It's great incentive to come on down here. $2,500 bounty. Knock out one of those 30 names. Trying to win me one of these WPTs so I can become a bounty.
That's right. And we do produce World Poker Tour champions.
Oh, that's right.
Paul Petralia, local as well, won 2 years ago.
How you doing? Hi, Ben.
Good.
How are you?
What's up, Doc?
Give it Habibi.
Jacob Orange says, what place did Kevin Ha and David Jackson finish? I don't know where Kevin finished, but David got 21st, I believe. Somewhere in the 20s, maybe 23rd, 24th, something like that.
Lion, yes, there are more high roller satellites. So right now we're doing steps 120 buy-in into that $596 rebuy. If you look at our schedule, our next satellite for that high roller is going to be
All right, we're going to have Glenn all in with ace-10 and Doc with the queen-8 of hearts.
It's my favorite pen. It's called Kit Kat. Queen 8.
Won't surprise me.
It's in my book. You read my book.
You get it. Yep. He did it.
Yeah, that's his favorite.
And
It's in his book.
after ace flops, Doc runs out. Running straight cards, queen-8's going to win and knock out Glenn. Glenn had already chopped for a little more than 19,000, which would be third place, and actually ends up finishing in third. Well done.
All right, guys, and that's it. We are now heads up between Doc and Eldon. And it's going to be time for our giveaway. Real quick, the answer to your question, Lion, the next high roller satellite to win a 20K high roller is going to be on Wednesday, October 9th at 6 p.m. $5.90 buy-in with $60 rebuys. All right, guys, I'm going to give some time for our Twitch viewers to hop on over to Facebook. Our YouTube viewers as well. You need to be on Facebook to answer this question. I'm going to give you guys about 60 seconds to hop on over. Again, just hit up Facebook. Go to our Facebook site, Best Bet Jacksonville. Watch the stream from there, and I'm going to give you guys, again, another 50 seconds or so. I am going to ask this question for you all. So, you guys, this giveaway question is worth a RFG STL seat. If you win a seat into that, along with 6 other players who want a seat. We're going to give away more giveaways as we progress through the World Poker Tour Series. But essentially, you're going to play a sit and go here on our Best Bet live stream for a $5.90 seat. And if you win that $5.90 seat, we'll get you a $5K main event seat. 30 more seconds, guys. I'm gonna give you some time to hop on over to Facebook, watch the stream, and I'm gonna go ahead and give away this question. All right, guys, that's it. That was the 60 seconds. Here is your question. Are you guys ready? I know I'm ready. So, since Dr. Emil Herezi is going to be going heads up for this event, we're going to go ahead and ask this question. So, Doc, and let me look this up.
You made it.
So, Doc,
Okay, where's the button?
who won the World Poker Tour Championship here in 2014, was heads up with James Calderaro. And if all you guys know, he did win with a one-outer to win it all against James Calderaro. And I'm asking you guys right now, what was that one out that Doc needed to bust out James Calderaro for that 2014 WPT main event championship?
Great question. Great trivia question.
So again, guys, what was that one outer that I'm going to need to see it also that Doc hit? Oh, there it is, guys.
Ooh.
Just got it. Kyle Lawrence Cotton, 10 of spades, was the one outer that Doc won the 2014 World Poker Tour Championship for $206,041. Congratulations, Kyle.
Oh, Rami Herezi. No doubt a family member of Doc's comes in second, just seconds behind.
So congratulations, Kyle Lawrence Cotton. A couple of details for you. So to claim your prize, we're going to have that event on October 11th. Please come in at about 5 o'clock. We will hold that Saturday at 6 o'clock. Actually, 4:30. Come in at 4:30, October 11th. Come see me. We will have a bit of a meet and greet, a bit of a cocktail party before we start that satellite. So I have your information. Again, come on by here at Best Bet Jacksonville. Please do me a big favor. Can you DM me on our Facebook site, your phone number as well? So make sure I have your contact information for you, Kyle. You have just won that RFG STL seat. And thanks for everybody for playing with us. You guys have been awesome. Again, Kyle, please, I'm actually going to go ahead and DM you so that you have it.
Always. What an ace, queen, or king.
I'm going to get your information, and you can get my information, and then, yeah. So again, guys, there will be plenty of chances to win another RFG STL seat. Just make sure to tune in with us on our live streams, also our Best Bet Poker Show for more giveaways.
All right, we're going to see a flop here. King 3 flopping top pair for Eldon. It's going to slow play it. Checks it again. Doc not taking the bait with 10 high.
That's the queen that I got started a while ago.
Oh, you have the queen of hearts.
Yeah, but that's the queen. That's the queen.
That's one of the queens.
Hello, sir. How are you, man? You okay? Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Eldon ace jack here.
5 raises to 340.
Raises 340.
Move line, big
Gonna
line.
take it down.
Yes, sir. You work one?
This game. I like this game.
One raises to 340.
Now Doc raises 340 with king six.
You don't know.
Still just down.
Get a rebate.
Alright. 5. What's up?
Alright. I don't know if I can beat it with my cup. Yeah.
One bet's 4. 5 folds.
Doc's gonna bet the flop, take that one down.
Yep.
Nope. You're 80.
Are you sure?
Got it. So I can't stop.
It's a trophy time, sir. It's a trophy time.
5 raises to 240. 1 calls.
Eldon gonna raise the 8 deuce of spades to 240 here. Doc's gonna come along with king 8. Ace king 3, all spades. Eldon flops a flush. Fires right away. 415,000. Doc with a king is gonna make the call. 6 of hearts on the turn. It's gonna give Eldon the check mark.
5 bets, 515.
Now 515 over to Doc. 8 on the river, giving Doc 2 pair. Big pot right now. 2.4 million in there.
It's always scared me. I'm out.
1 is all. 2 calls, 35.
Oh, Doc goes all in.
Oh, I know you have the flush. Yeah.
Eldon calls quickly with the flush. Monster pot.
Yeah. What a flop.
Monster pot here. This is going to send Doc way down.
That's easy to cover.
Big misstep. Rivers 2 pair. Jams it all in. Well, at least got to figure out this massive pot.
1, 2.
3, correct.
3, 5, 6. 640. 3,640,000.
3 million.
Doc paying off 3.6 million on the river here.
Good? Verify this. 600. So, right? 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 40. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
All right, biggest pot of the night. Eldon takes it down, flops a flush, gets paid.
I love it's a big hand now.
Doc makes 2 pair.
That's big hand. Love the flush. Deuce 9. I love it. I love it. I love it. Related?
My brother.
Gary says no one wants to tell me what they win out the door. Doc's already chopped for 20,000, and Eldon already has 26,000. They're playing just for that trophy that you see sitting in between them. Jamie Lynn, hello, welcome. Yep, you are visible, and congratulations on your ladies tournament win last week or a couple weeks ago.
He flopped up.
Andrea, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining.
And I have 2 pairs.
Right now we are heads up. These players have already chopped. Doc taking home 20,000 and Eldon taking home 26,000. They're playing it out for the trophy. Eldon with a huge chip lead as Doc just lost massive pot. Now with a little less than 2 million. Doc about 1.5 million actually. And Eldon with 9.5.
Guys, can you get a rack? Get rid of some of these grapes. Five tracks.
Gary, at the moment, again, they all chopped it up. So Doc is going to receive $20,000, and Eldon's going to receive $26,000. Right now, they're just playing for the trophy and World Poker Tour glory to take down the first trophy of our WPT series.
That's right. Event 1, 100K guarantee, 562 players. These 2 players make the most money. Doc 20,000, Eldon 26,000. Playing it out for the trophy. Gus giving Eldon a color up. Job well done to our staff here at Best Bet, tournament directors, Johnny, Gus, dealers, Billy and Elise. Doing a great job, as always. Both players flopping a flush draw. Doc with a pair. Doc bets his pair, takes it down.
I wish he had an ace deuce, I'd be all right. I would have been happy.
It was 8 deuce.
Yeah, if it was ace deuce, I would have told you better. Less comfort.
Couple of decent hands here. Ace-4 suited for Doc. Jack-9 suited for Eldon. They're going to see a flop. Ace-8 deuce. Doc flops an A.
One bet's 150, 5 folds.
Tim Gower, thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. We're heads up. These guys are playing for the trophy. Eldon's already pocketed 26,000 in his chop deal. Doc's pocketed 20. No money left to play for. These guys are playing just for the hardware and the bragging
That was a big
rights.
head, man. With deuce 8, man. Deuce 8. Huh? I know. Okay. All right, I'm just trying to recover. And I have 2 pairs. Another depression. Enough, baby, enough.
I'm sorry.
Enough, darling. Yeah, I get screwed up here or screwed up there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you have?
Jamie says she thinks she was first to answer the question. Johnny's not in the office right now or behind the computer to check it out right now, but as soon as he gets back in here, I'll have him take a look for you, Jamie.
Well, that's 300.
Doc with 2 pair.
I would cry. Check.
Super. And next.
I was worried about the 5, give you a straight.
Doc wins a nice little pot. 2 pair. Johnny, in the chat, Jamie Lynn says she thinks she may have answered first. She doesn't see any other answers.
So a little bit weird. Everybody's feed on Facebook is gonna be a little bit different. I have the fastest feed as far as the connectivity with our Facebook chat stream here. So
yeah, we were looking at it live, and it definitely looked like.
So I mean, Eddie's gonna be my witness here, looking at this.
It was Kyle Lawrence Cotton.
So yep.
Yeah.
So Davina answered 10 on the river, but didn't give a suit. And right behind him, Kyle Lawrence, 10 of spades.
Yep.
So nothing fishy going on here, guys. I want to promise you we are doing these on the up and up. So there are going to be plenty of chances to win that RFG STLC, but please, be a fan of our live streams. We are going to be doing a lot more giveaways. And promise you there are going to be 4 more to give away. Actually, 3 more. We give away 3 already. So there's going to be 3 more giveaways here. Plenty more chances to win.
Looks like this pot's going checked all the way down. And they're going to chop it up.
I had the flush draw.
You do?
At the end.
At the 5.
Doc, pocket 8s. Eldon, ace 10. Looks like they're getting all in here.
We are playing friendly.
Eldon's got the ace 10. Doc, pocket 8s.
All right. Time to go. All time to stay. Come on, an 8.
So this could be it, guys.
Come on.
5 diamonds, 5 hearts, and might just be behind. 5 hearts, 9 diamonds.
559.
555. Nothing for.
Sometimes on the turn.
One more diamond.
Here's our river card.
All right.
That's a double up for Doc.
9s and 8s.
9s and 8s.
Here we go. So come be.
That's a double up.
Here.
It ain't over yet, Johnny.
It's getting close.
Doc wins a flip. Doubles up to around 4 million. Eldon's still going to have the chip lead. I think there's about 10 or 11 in play.
Five. 2,505,000.
2.5 Doc had, so he's going to be up to 5 mil. That's going to make things a little tighter.
Roller coaster. Gotta win the races.
So again, guys, coming tomorrow, 11 a.m. starts event number 5 of our World Poker Tour Series. $200 buy-in, $50,000 guaranteed prize pool. First place is going to be added a 5K main event seats. Jim, what day is the high roller? That would be Thursday on October. Should have this all memorized. I don't know why I don't. High roller will start on Thursday, October 10th at 3 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and drop some links in here for you all. So if you want to know what time our events are or anything pertaining to our World Poker Tour promotions, hit that link up. There's going to be one final satellite for that high roller, and that will be held on Wednesday with a $560 buy and $60 rebuy.
Aunt Madola, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. You see Eldon with a little over 6 million and Doc with a little less than 5.
Shall we deal?
Eldon hits a queen, Doc hits a 4.
Probably really slow. 400 from 5, 4, 1.
And Eldon bets it and Doc lays it down. On to the next.
So Eddie, coming into November, I do have a tournament for you. Check this out. Brand new coming out from Best Bet. We call it the Bankroll Builder. So it's going to be a one-day event in November. And it's going to be piggybacked within our, I think it's a 50K or 100K. But it's going to be a $2,100 buy-in, $500 bounties, one-day event on like a Friday or Saturday, 1 and 2.
I like that. Just random, not in a series, just by itself.
Not in a series by itself. I mean, we did piggyback it with a 100K multi-flight MTT, so there should be a lot more action in town, but we are going to be doing a lot of satellites into that. So if you want to play a short field, $2,100 buy-in, come on out. I expect the first place to average about 30K.
Yeah, I like that. $500 bounties. Doc opens the 7-4. 10 jack for Eldon. He's going to make the call. Queen 9-5, all spades. Eldon with open-ended flush or straight draw and a 10-high flush draw. He's going to fire right out. Tough flop for Doc here. He is going to call 500,000 though. Now they both make a flush. Eldon 10-high. Doc with a 7-high flush, and he goes all in.
No, I think you got maybe.
Wow.
Eldon call, that's it.
Eldon calls, and that's going to be it, folks. Doc jams the 7-high flush, and Eldon calls with the 10-high flush. And that's it, folks. That's all she wrote. So Eldon, who chopped it for 26,000, the lion's share, is going to take down the trophy as well. Doc's going to keep his 20,000. Finishing second. Eldon's your winner.
All right, thank you, Eddie, for spending your time of the evening to commentate for our live streams. A lot happening here at Best Bet Jacks tomorrow. Again, that 50K guarantee, event number 5 of our World Poker Tour Series. You're playing tomorrow?
I'll be here bright and early.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us here at Best Bet Live. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Again, guys, I'm going to sign off here and with Eddie.
Yeah, I want to thank Kelly Slay for joining me in the first portion of the broadcast. And as always, keep repping the nuts.